You can tell in the top corner there, hopefully with everything working correctly, we've got Songbird. What? Yeah, so be sure to like the video. Subscribing's great as well. Consider becoming a channel member and all that great stuff. And we're doing a bit of a back and forth Q&A, AMA kind of thing. I haven't come up with branding yet because we haven't done this before. So what we've got set up, and hopefully it's not too loud for people, is the beginning where obviously your character, Songbird, is first introduced to V. And let's just start up with you giving people in the audience a bit of a brief, just about yourself and your character in the game, and, just a little bit of an opening sort of thing.
Sure. Also, I can't see anything of the live stream, so if there's any, questions, you're going to have to feed them to me, because I can't see that.
All good. It'll totally work out. Everything makes sense.
I trust you. Hi, everyone. I'm Minji Chang. I'm the voice of Songbird in Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. And a little about myself. I'm an actor. I'm a filmmaker. That includes writing and directing. I'm a fledgling writer-director and a producer. And California native, Bay Area native. Happy to talk to Jason. He's been a great one of the many people that has been really welcoming me into the gaming world, because I am pretty much brand new. I'm a brand new baby, and getting familiar with this whole world. A little bit about Songbird. Somi is a beautiful, wonderful, smart, resilient, crafty, and I won't say too many words. I feel like that'll give away stuff in the game, but she's definitely a force to be reckoned with. She is a net runner, one of the most talented net runners alive, and she is the right hand of President Rosalind Myers, and she is going to become a new companion to V. That's all.
There you go. That's a perfect setup. So we're kind of showcasing the game, just like I said, running, and then we're gonna play a little bit of it, and you will be able to see me playing the game when we switch to. Oh, here you're on the screen right now. Just like in your regular thing, you're first talking to the character. So obviously you've shown some cool responses and stuff. Do you want to tell us a bit about seeing yourself in the game, and then also seeing people's responses to yourself kind of being in the game as Songbird?
Yeah, that whole thing. So funny story. I think I shared this in the interview that we did, but I was sick immediately with my first encounter with COVID, 3.5 years after the pandemic. But so I got sick immediately after the game was released. So I was half a human, but I was on Twitch watching people play because I was so bummed I couldn't be there. I was trying to do this whole setup where I could start gaming myself, and I was going crazy about that. But watching everybody really interact with her was insane, on top of the fact that I never got to see her exist in this world. It's really different to record the voice, make the character, and be involved in the snippets that I'm part of, and all in disjointed process. So I don't know how everything's kind of coming to life truly. It was not only watching other people play the game, but me witnessing the game too for the first time. It was super wild and surreal with all the sound design and the music and everything. It was crazy. I got really emotional.
Well, as you mentioned, your character obviously has really deep emotional bits, and then, hearing obviously your emotional reaction to it. And then you mentioned also that you're, kind of behind the scenes. Jeremy obviously had a really good response to your experience and your performance as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also very awkward our setup, guys. Just want to put that out there. If we do talk over each other, it's my bad.
Oh, no, it's fine. I won't take any offense.
But yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just wait, so Jason, did we talked about that offline, right? After we stopped recording?
I can't remember specifically.
Okay. Well, to reiterate, I don't know if it was in the interview, but Jeremy was just so talented, and again, every step of the way I'm learning about the actual game and what the world is and the storyline. We just dove right in. Pierce O'Toole is our director. Super gracious, answering all my annoying questions. Still to this day, I still text him, be Pierce, I don't understand this, and he'll just so patient, will explain anything I have questions about. but he gave me, you know, he's the intermediary between all the characters, right? Because he's directing us. And yeah, at one point he told me that Jeremy had like a really strong emotional reaction to my performance, and I'd been hearing her piece by piece, and I was just blown away. I was so touched because I was like, she's so good. Like, clearly she's a pro. Clearly she's so seasoned. I'm like genuinely trying to learn from her every little snippet I hear. And then down the road to hear that she was like, oh my gosh, like Songbird's making me cry. That made me so, I felt like that was such a huge win. I will never forget that day. It was a really great day.
Yeah, it sounds like an awesome experience, and I'm still trying to coordinate to see if we get like a bit of a duo back and forth kind of thing going on. But as she posted on Twitter there, I think she just had her kids, so good for her.
She did. I'm so proud of. I'm so happy for her. Again, I haven't met Jeremy, but she's been really, really supportive and nice, and it's been great. I cannot wait to eventually meet her one day.
Yeah, and I hope that does happen. And like I said, guys, we're still on my end. I'm trying to coordinate things because I kind of mentioned it to some people in the chatter for like, you know, the comments on the interview, because I was like, it'd be really cool if we could set this up and stuff. And some people did actually have the question off of that. And I think we definitely didn't chat about it during our interview. I know this didn't make it in specifically, but there was a bit of chemistry they were always asking between your V, or your character, and male V and also female V. Kind of just like some romance type stuff, or at least some good chemistry there.
I'm glad. That makes me happy because I think that's the cool part of acting, and like I'm such a nerd when it comes to the craft. Because I think there's so many variables that come into play when you're creating something. Like, there's so many things that you can plan for, like the writing, the direction, the sound. But like, once it actually happens, there's something that comes to life on its own. And I've seen that in things that I've, you know, been hired to act in, things that I'm writing. When I write a script and I do a table read and I get actual actors to read it out loud, it becomes something completely different and something magical and unexpected. And I think with V, again, I'm learning the storyline as we go, and I'm trying to figure out, like, is there a thing? Is this gonna? Because I was learning even the fact that you can romance characters. I didn't know that was a thing, and so that was a question myself, because there's such a strong bond and like, obviously it's like this friendship, kinship, allyship, and like intimacy. Because you know, we're just like going through stuff together. And so, yeah, even I asked that. I was like, where's this going?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good question. I've seen like lots of people kind of mention that, even outside of the interview. I think for my review and some other streams that I did, there were some questions that people were kind of wondering. Because it's kind of like, you know, there's definitely a good kind of connection going on between the two. They definitely seem to be kind of close, and that does obviously change wildly over the course of the story based on like the choices people make to a degree as well.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, because I think we chatted a bit about this as well outside of the context of the interview. Is just like, there is romance lines and there's full romantic like subplots in the main game, like Pan Am and Judy and stuff like that, and I think he's River Ward if you want to go with female V and get yourself a little river. Those are all options that you can pursue, and they're like pretty full.
Little river.
Little bit of river, yeah. They're full in-depth like discussions, and they're full in-depth quest lines and everything like that. But strangely, Phantom Liberty didn't really have anything like that, because I kind of assumed there was a set of twins, which I don't think your character specifically interacts with at one point. I kind of assumed that twins might be someone you could romance. It's like a poker game. Yeah, it's the poker party game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the big party scene. But does your character, I don't think she interacts with the...
No, she doesn't. She, like, I mentioned them. I remember there was like a line where I mentioned the twins, or like that's it. There was no interaction beyond that.
Yeah, so you do like a whole kind of thing where you're like scanning their brains, and then when you're done, because I kind of assumed that was going to be a point of like romancing, well, not maybe romancing, but like a quick fling kind of thing. It seemed like that was what it was going to set up. I know it sounds funny, but that's the vibe I was getting, because they're kind of
It is funny because I don't know these fling things. I don't know what flings can be flung in this world. Like, I'm like, what did they do? What does romancing mean? Like, what happened? Where does it go? I was so curious, and then frankly I was a little freaked out because again I didn't know what I was signing up for. So I was like, wait, so if I'm romanced, what are my lines? Like, you know, like is this like, am I doing like a video game's like intimate scene, you know? Do we have an intimacy coordinator? Like, I got a little freaked out because yeah, that's like the thing of like discovering everything. This whole experience has been one giant discovery process. And at that point, when I didn't even understand what the romancing option was, it was definitely like, excuse me, what? Like, that's an option, am I? And what do I have to do if that happens? Like, yeah, it freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah, actually, I do ponder what that would what that would be like, because you're in a booth kind of by yourself, right? You're talking along.
Yeah. It's just me and a microphone, much like right now. It's just me and a microphone, and like, well, I think that's also the fun of like voicing characters. Your imagination is very powerful. I say that to everybody, whether you're like doing this for a living or not.
Yeah, that would be very entertaining. But just to continue the scene, yeah, you do the poker thing, you interact with them, and then we go and talk to you, and you have like a kind of a big moment there. I did get a question. What's your favorite video game growing up or current?
See, this, there is no current because I'm not a gamer, and this whole journey has like made me curious to game, obviously to play this, but I have this phobia of just like that I'll be the worst player alive and that it'll just be a big nightmare. That's very revealing about my own psyche. So besides that, I was a huge Super Mario fan. Like I was really good actually. I was very committed. I think I, started off the basic and I got up, I think, to Super Mario 3 on the regular console, on the original Nintendo console. And I never graduated past that because my little brother, he came along and then he got into the N64 and all that stuff. But he played extensively on that since he was young, but I didn't really play that. So I think I kind of stopped at Super Mario 3, which I really miss. Can I play that now somewhere? Can I play that on like my computer?
I mean, I would never tell you to play Nintendo stuff in an emulated format on your computer, considering I work with Nintendo, but, I mean, there's certainly different ways that you could play and experience those, and they just released Mario Wonder.
Oh, cool.
Like about a couple weeks ago, and that is, like, they still do technically sequels to those Mario games that you were playing, the Super Mario. So
yeah,
this would be...
I mean, I see the content all around, like, on social media and stuff. So clearly, it's still going really strong, right? Like, it's crazy. I love like how it's stood the test of time.
Yeah, Mario is doing obviously always ridiculously well, but yeah, Super Mario Wonder is basically the new version of, if you're like, it's still like a 2D platformer. Well, I guess it's like more like 2.5D sort of, but. Yeah, it's just like the latest iteration of that. So that series is still going strong. It's still going strong. You could theoretically jump right back and you'd be like, huh, this is kind of the same thing. But now you'd be like, I think you can be like a raccoon and like a elephant. I think you could be an elephant in the new one.
Wow. See,
Yeah.
I think that's like, it's interesting because we're in such a huge like nostalgia phase, or we have been, right? And there's all this like resurgence of, everything 90s, now Y2K. Now I think I'm told by the youngsters that the 80s are making, a big comeback now. Now, like, if you're into the 90s, like, oh my gosh, that's so old now. It's phased out. But yeah, it's, like, cool to see the 2D. That's why I miss, like, 2D flat animation. I'm impressed by all of this. Obviously, it's, like, the polar opposite of something like Cyberpunk. But there's something really, like, simple and beautiful and endearing about, the 2D things that were. I watched E.T. last night, and it was. I watched E.T. in concert, so I got to watch E.T. while the L.A. Philharmonic played the soundtrack, John Williams soundtrack, and it melted my brain. But it was also just so cool to see what they did with like the practical effects, because they didn't have all the bells and whistles we have now, and so I really appreciated that. I was like, wow, they're so clever. They had to do these like actual things, or like very minimal technology back then.
Yeah, it really is interesting to see like the use of practical against CGI elements, and then nowadays, actually, the last couple of years, you've also got like Disney sort of pushing the idea of, which I find maybe a little lazier or cheaper, but like I'm assuming because you're in industry, you know this, but like they put the actor in the room, and then around them they've got like these screens, and they're kind of projecting the world, and then they're filming the actor in these with like these projected backdrops.
Yeah, they did that for Dune, I think, right?
Yeah, I believe so to some degree.
Yeah, I didn't watch Dune. I've actually been, I just say June. I didn't watch Dune. But I've actually been in a studio of friends. There's a film I'm producing now. The people that supported that, one of our EPs, they had, keyword had, they didn't move forward with it, but they had a studio where they had that exact thing. And we mimicked like all kinds of stuff in order to like film this interview that we were doing. So I got to see it in real time. It's wild. But kind of made me sad. I was like, I would rather we could actually film our interview in an actual, fill in the blank, like whatever it is, like in an actual warehouse or in an actual, because you could do outside too, right? You mimic a party and just do lighting and stuff and pretend like you're outside. I'm like, no, but I'd rather be outside.
Yeah, because I do find with that technology that the image tends to be a little flat, if that makes sense. More so than even CGI. I find the environments are flatter when they do the projection type thing. But practical sets are cool.
Well, Jason, because you play games all the time, do you think that your eye is like especially sensitive to that? Like you're attuned to, you know what I mean? Like you're looking at kind of different worlds and images all the time. Do you feel like you pick up on it faster than an average human, a civilian?
A civilian? Well, that would just be too flattering to me. Hilariously, fun thing, I almost did not get my driver's license because there's a test where you have to look at what numbers stick out to you. For depth perception.
Okay.
Yeah, depth perception test, and I didn't know what they were asking me. They're like, what number stands out to you? I'm like, I see like there's numbers, but the idea is you have to look at which numbers actually have depth to them and scale. They're testing your eyesight, and I almost actually failed my license because I didn't have any apparently depth perception until they were like, the ones that stand out to you. I was like, oh, like the ones that actually like have depth to them. They're like, yes,
yeah,
like, this visibly, is a depth perception test. I was like, are you kidding me?
I'm glad you figured it out. So
yeah, because you're making the comparison of me knowing like depth and stuff in the scenery. But I do actually have a background. Like I've done movie reviews for several years, and I'm actually really into film.
Very cool.
Yeah.
We have
and obviously ground. You're a little bit more further along in the film type of thing too, right?
Depends. I think like everybody has a different skill set. I have so many friends in the industry that have such a keen awareness of different things that I don't pay attention to. Like I'm really hypercritical on acting. Because I have to do it all the time, or like I aspire to do it, so I'm way more sensitive and attentive to it. Like my friends who do coloring and cinematography, they care so much about the composition, and it matters to me, but it's like if the writing is bad, if the performance is bad and I'm taken out of it and I don't believe it, to me it's like a wash. Like why did I even watch this? It like upsets me to no end. But I talked to my cinematographer friends and they're like, well, it was so beautiful to see, and I was like, it was pointless to be beautiful. Like we'll get in heated debates about that. I'm like, I don't care if it was pretty. I didn't care about the story. It made no sense. But they'll give it a much higher grade than I would. So it depends on who you're talking to.
Well, that is of course their chosen profession, right? They're going to look for that. You're going to look for more of a narrative and or how things are structured. And then if I'm doing a review type thing on a movie, I'm looking for the overall package, but I'll pick out little things I like along the way.
I definitely should listen to your movie reviews. I'm curious. I learn a lot from other people's, because you just learn of what someone's paying attention to.
Exactly.
Like, oh, I didn't notice that at all.
And a small break, just since we're at that point where I'm like, hey, yo, be sure to like the stream. Subscribing's great. Donation's cool. Consider becoming a channel member. Cool perks, emotes, icons. There's channel member gifting. The Patreon option. The Discord for stream alerts, chatter, great times, and behind-the-scenes stuff. the Amazon store affiliate link if you're buying anything on there, and gamerheadquarters.com. I write on my site occasionally when I get a moment. I gotta do my pitch every so often for people.
Good. Actually, the screen went blank, so I don't see anything anymore, by the way.
That's great. When we switch over to regular gameplay, I will hopefully fix that for you. I don't know. We're still showing... right now, their female V is fighting you as a robot.
I don't see anything right now.
Yeah, you still don't see that because it's still playing like a clip from the game. But
okay.
I don't know if you remember, but you take over a giant machine thing.
Yes.
Vaguely, you're like a spider robot. You look fantastic. You're a giant monster, like back there.
Wait, the chimera thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I remember.
that's what's going on right now. Is you're a giant, you're a giant robot.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, V's
sorry, guys.
climbing on top of you to destroy you. No, she's fallen to her death right now. Let's see. So again, if you guys have questions and stuff, totally open to fielding them. Someone did ask, how familiar were you with The Witcher before working with CD Projekt Red as a book, game show, or otherwise?
Zero. I think I can be as like a blank of a canvas and blank slate as possible. I really feel... I'm thinking I wanted to make like a TikTok of it, which I've done a couple TikToks here and there, but I want to tell like my story because I want to have certain images in the back to like explain how this all transpired. But Jason, I told you, but like the path to get from this funny incident that happened in Paris months before I actually got this role to like actually discovering what the role was, being very close to turning it down. I was like this close. None of this was going to happen because I was busy and I had a lot of like wariness about the gaming world, and if I wanted to be in one and all that stuff, I had to join SAG for that and like all these things. So I was so close to saying no. And then the moment where the big reveal happens, because when I auditioned for this, you guys, like it's like, how did I explain it to you? It's like saying, oh, here's Project Water Bottle. It's a code name, right? So I'm like, okay. That's how I get auditions, right? They're not going to tell me everything. A lot of these are secret coded names. They're not going to reveal. Maybe they'll tell you what platform it's for, but not even then. Like, it's just, Project Water Bottle. Here's the character. Here's a few lines. And the lines could be something that's not even in the actual thing. They just want a sample of your character and get a sense for your personality. So I auditioned for Project Water Bottle January-ish, and then get a call back in March. That's when I went in person to the studio and met Pierce, like via Zoom. He's like raving, he's saying all these wonderful things, like, oh, this is perfect. He's giving me all these dramatic lines and I'm doing my best to deliver. And he's just like, oh, this is so great. This is great. This is great. Like really positive reactions. Then they go radio silent. That's in March. And it's June. And all of a sudden I hear from my agent, like, Minji, you booked Project Water Bottle. And I was like, what? Like, I don't know what that project is. Sure, because again, I've done a lot of different projects since their auditions. And then when I finally got the big reveal, didn't know if it was a small character, big character. I didn't know what game it was. I don't know much about games at all. And so I feel really sad because Pierce was so excited to reveal and tell me, do you want to know what game you're in? Yeah, tell me. And he's like, Cyberpunk. And I was like, cool. Like,
what's Cyberpunk?
I was like, that sounds vaguely familiar, but I was really busy at the time. I was going in production of my first short film, and literally all the stars aligned of me booking this job the week we're going into production. So the only thing I'm thinking about is like, oh my God, can I actually pull this off and like be part of this, because I'm so busy and putting in time and money and effort with my friends to make this like giant production. So I just, like, when Pierce said it's Cyberpunk, I was like, awesome. Do I have to come here every day? Like, that was my immediate next question. And I'll always remember that because I kind of saw he's so kind and would never like be outwardly mean to me, but his face kind of dropped and he's like, oh, yeah, we're gonna need you here every day. And I was like, oh, like, I was gonna focus. I was worried about this other stuff. So yeah, that's part of the story of my ridiculous discovery. of the awesomeness that is Cyberpunk and not knowing what I was diving into at all.
You know, that's actually very entertaining, because I think most people, if they were like, you're in Cyberpunk, you'd be like, oh my god. But that's from a perspective of like someone that does like gaming and whatnot. Whereas you, like, you said this is your first gaming role, right?
Yeah, ever.
First
and my
ever.
first like real character, to be honest.
Oh, because you do... Yeah.
I do commercials.
You do commercials and stuff like that. Well, you're still making a character, as to say, depending on the situation.
Yeah,
hey,
but I'm like selling you Clorox bleach, or you know.
you could end up like, is it Flo, the progressive lady? That's a character with legacy.
Yeah. She is. She's an icon. Come on, like, and she's doing a great job, and we all know her. And come on, what would progressive be without her?
I'm just like, I think she's been doing that for like a decade now. Am I crazy? Like that's an actual character.
She's Flo. Like she's the character, and it's crazy how people can become
a character
synonymous to the brand.
Yeah.
So, yeah, who knows? But the all of this voiceover stuff for me is a complete happy accident. Like, I'm so grateful. It's really fun, and it was never in my bingo card. It was not on my vision board. It was not on my aspirations list. Like, never. I think I joked about it when I was younger of like, oh, I want to voice like a Pixar character or something. I think I said something like that. But I never was like efforting towards it. That makes sense.
Yeah, Pixar would be pretty sweet, wouldn't it? But you're, at least for gaming, you're in like the top caliber of like narrative-driven experiences. Like if CD Projekt Red calls and asks for someone to come in, you know you're going to be doing, you know, just a really, really great story. Like the Witcher stuff, like the Witcher games are just incredible storytelling. And then Cyberpunk is them kind of stepping into a new world, and we're going to see more Cyberpunk stuff. I'm assuming if they did more Cyberpunk stuff and weaved you in there somehow, I assume you'd be down for that?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Sign me up. I'm super into it. I even did, you know, did my little cosplay for Halloween. I commissioned the costume to be made by, I got referred to, well, one of them's a friend of mine, and then the other woman was a referral. But
do you have a picture?
while I was, oh yeah. Jason, did you not follow me on Instagram? I'm not offended. I'm just kidding.
I mean, I can follow you if you'd like to. I never want to take that step, because then I'd be like, oh, this guy's like... See, from my perspective, it's so weird, because I always get, whenever I make an interview, and it's with a woman, they're always like, what, did you slide into her DMs or something? And I just go, oh my god. Every single time.
That's what everyone thinks. And you know what? Life is... Whether it's something more than an interview, life is all about sliding into people's DMs. You have to ask.
It's networking, it's who you know.
I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, there we go. So this is the Halloween costume. I think you're cutting off your face. Lower it a little bit. Right there.
See, there's the ring light. Hold on. Can you see it?
That is perfect. Yeah, that right there. That is the angle. So you actually look pretty close to your actual in-game character.
Thank you.
Which is strange, because you didn't do the stuff, right? Like, you didn't do the scanning, you didn't do... Which I was reading today, actually, for whatever reason, in an article. Idris Elba didn't either.
Oh!
He just did voice.
Really?
That's amazing. Like, have you seen him in that game?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I didn't.
Like, I was just reading this article, and it was like, apparently he's like, yeah, I just did the voice and stuff, and I was like, what?
That's wild.
Because I would have assumed there would have been, like, motion capture. I should double check.
That's what I assumed. I thought they pulled out all the stops for him, and like, well, I also think that would be a tremendous amount of time. But I'm like assuming the technology is like you get mocap or like a portion of it, and then kind of use his movement and his dimensions from there. He doesn't have to do everything. But that's really surprising.
Yeah, let me find that article so I at least have a source before someone goes that I'm crazy. Notably, Elba's work was purely voice recording with no motion capture for read. And that is according to Games Hub.
Well done, Idris.
That is... Like, firstly, CD Projekt Red, to be able to make a character that looks that like that in the game, and like that is amazing. That is great. I'm glad you guys like the live chat stuff. Again, if you have any cues specifically, I'm very happy to pass them along.
So sad I can't see the chat.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably have given you a link so that you could read. They're mostly just talking to each other about coffee.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, there's some chatter about someone's tired, they're drinking coffee. Someone's like, I don't drink coffee religiously, but his mother got some from El Salvador. Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, they do chat amongst themselves. Oh,
Coffee
yeah, voiceover stuff's
highly
awesome.
addicting, man. I had to get off that.
Yeah, no motion capture at all, which is amazing. Somebody's talking about cats are crazy because the rain is coming down. Oh, here we go. If you have a favorite character from the base game, sorry, like part of it. Okay, so YouTube has this like ridiculous little hearts icon that takes up like a corner of the chat, so it cuts off what people are saying to me.
Got it.
If you have a favorite character from the base game, or which ones you know. Oh, okay, so the question is, who is your favorite character from the base game of Cyberpunk? But you don't really know because you haven't really played it.
I don't know because I never played it.
Yeah.
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 I'm a blank slate again. I feel like it's so disappointing. But I think that's what I'm discovering, even to understand who V was. And the pace, the clip that we're, needing to get through lines and learn the whole process. For me, I was really learning as I go, and I didn't have too much time to sit there and interview Pierce about like, so can you explain the whole lore? And I went on, I did my Google search and I read up on it as much as I could. But again, I was like really busy with production and I have a lot of other projects going on. So I felt like I didn't know if it was helping me with the process of being Songbird. So I think I got like snippets here and there, and I watched some stuff on YouTube, and I just want to get a sense of the world and like the vibe. But I didn't go too in depth to like super like learn every character of Cyberpunk, because this is the expansion. She's kind of coming from a different part of the universe, I guess. So I just cared mostly about like knowing who she was and how to best give her life.
Okay, so I started the gameplay. Can you see this?
Yes.
So you can see what I'm doing.
I see sequence required, and now, yeah.
Okay, there we go. So this is like after all the stuff's done. I have one area where I can go kill a bunch of people, but I don't know where that is. So I guess we'll kind of look for that. But this is where your story takes place, because you're doing the Phantom Liberty expansion. So the whole expansion takes place in this green spot, essentially.
Got it.
Somehow they squish. I can't remember how long the camp. I think it was like at least 10 hours or something, and then this is the rest of the world. It's kind of the stuff here.
Sick.
So you're like somehow this tiny space is just so full of stuff to do. It's kind of amazing. But the reason I wanted to start by showing gameplay for the people is so that they can see you and see you in the game, because I can't show you because you're not here anymore. If that makes sense.
Where am I?
Well, I finished the DLC, so I'm...
Got it.
So, that makes sense for you then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because no matter what happens, you're not you're not here. She's off adventuring some other way, guys, depending on what you choose.
Some other way.
Hey, was there much motion capture? Well, I mean, you can answer it, but you were just doing voice.
Yeah, only voice. It was a really cool challenge to learn how to do video games with like the efforts and with all of the parameters, because it's like if I'm saying something to V, but it's the hollow version of me, or if it's like, I'm in their head or whatever, like it'd be such a different way of delivering the line. So like we'd have to do different versions where I'm like saying it from 10 feet away, or I'm like yelling it out far, or I'm saying it to someone intimately because I can speak directly. All that stuff was so cool to me, and that's what I was so impressed. Again, someone brand new to this world, to like learn how much care and detail was going into every single tiny aspect. It was truly insane. Like I nerd out. That's how I treat things that I make and things that I like to know how things were made. how much thought and detail went into it. So doing this was really cool.
Would you have preferred doing a motion cap, or were you fine just doing voice stuff on it?
Good question. Here's the thing. I don't think I'm the most coordinated person. So if it were mocap, I feel like it would have been a disservice to the game, because probably like 40% of it would have been me like stumbling or. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Can we redo that again?
Oh, go ahead. I mean, we're live, so you can just talk and switch things up.
I mean, that would be me doing mocap.
That would be you too.
You would have to stop and be like, oh, I messed up. I'm so sorry. You know, like that's my, you know, my fear in my head. But doing it with a microphone, in that case, because I have like issues and qualms with my coordination, I was better with the microphone. But then with the microphone, it's a challenge because you want to be dynamic and you kind of want to be in motion so you can give like the character the energy that she needs. They're like, you know, going to something really harrowing. You want to be, but you got to like stay really stationary to the mic. So I would get prompted, and I had to. That was like a muscle I had to learn. Is to not stray. Like I just stay committed to the mic while also being dynamic. That was really hard. So yeah. Either situation, there were things to learn.
So someone does ask, in the future, if you did get the chance to research more, will you research more? Oh, okay. So if you get another role in gaming, will you do more research into the lore of it before taking the approach, or would you do the same sort of approach that you did for Cyberpunk, where you were kind of like lightly knowledgeable of its universe?
Good question. I think I would do more research, although I don't know. I guess it's really up to the players of like if they think that I still, I guess, pulled it off. If it was a convincing character without me knowing that, but I don't know how much it would like necessarily help me. Because I do think characters are characters. And that's kind of the relationship between the director. You have to really trust the director to give you good like parameters and indication. And that's the relationship we kept building. As I was learning more about Songbird and diving into her storyline, I was learning more about the Cyberpunk universe. So I felt like that gave me a good anchoring. But I do think the next game I would definitely spend more time researching. I think that would be fun.
So,
but I don't know if I'll get too in my head about it. That's also my tendency.
Yeah, because like from what I understand, a lot of like you see many interviews and stuff like that for actors and whatnot. Some of them don't at all care about the overall lore, and they come in and they create their character in this universe, or create a character guided by the director. And I guess it's really up to the approach and how intensive, you know, a performer is, or because everybody's got different methods too, from what I understand as well. I'm not gonna act like I pretend to know any of it, because, you know, I don't do that profession. But I do see some, like, you know, obviously you get like the intensive method actors, some that are a little bit more laid back, and everybody's got a different approach. Is there like, is gaming something you'd like to do more of?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to give it a go, because because I have so many other aspirations. I think that's what really comes down to. I think that's what genuinely, like, my life experience and professional experience and even like pandemic taught me, is that there's not, like, time is not guaranteed, right? So I'm really more conscious of how I'm spending my time and what I enjoy. So would I want to dabble in it? Absolutely. I don't know if I would get super obsessed into gaming, because I have so many other things that I have high on my priority list that I really want to do, like make films. And I'm in writers groups. I'm in my acting class I want to take, so that when mocap or a live action thing comes out, I want to take motion and combat fighting or dance classes, actually, like movement dance classes help you just get in your body so that when you have to do things on camera, you can do them gracefully and not stall the entire production because you stumbled and smacked your face into the floor. So things like that, because I have so many of those interests and then all the relationships I have, I genuinely, like, practically don't know if I'll spend a ton of time gaming. Because I think, and I'm also really extroverted and I like want to see my friends and family. I like hosting and all kinds of other stuff that I'm like, how could I even do that? Like
I think
between
it was more specifically doing performances in gaming.
Oh my God! I'm sorry. That was a very long-winded answer to not the question. Was that? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
Hope you got to know a little more about me. For gaming, I would love to. Voicing, it's so fun. This is like totally a happy surprise, and I yes. But can I also say, like, the reason why I was a little bit wary of the gaming world, like this is me being, you know, vulnerable a bit, but I've had like bad exposure to some of the gaming like culture, I guess. I know that it's not like you do not define any community by its worst, you know. I'm not that person. I've had that assumed about, you know, communities that I'm part of, so I'm not that person. But I've had personal experiences like ex-boyfriends and stuff that are really into gaming, and the things I would hear them say and the ways that they would act while gaming, like, honestly, and this is years ago too, but it kind of left a negative taste in my mouth. And like also seeing the games being like, in my opinion, like really violent, and again, this is like very limited exposure, but I didn't know, because I didn't know what project it was, I was wary of like, what kind of game am I gonna be in? And that was something that was like, I was a little apprehensive about. But seeing that there's so many cool people, like I've had such a welcome in the gaming universe, and everyone's been so kind and so like respectful and generous and everything. So I feel like that apprehension's like just dissipated a lot. In which case I'm more intrigued and down to be part of the gaming world.
I'm glad you got to see a little bit of a better side of it, because there is...
As you decapitate.
Because I was trying to set that up where you're talking, and then I'm like showing how violent of a game you actually are in.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, we can go worse. I think you can yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. See, how do people heal from this? Because this has got... I know it's a game.
Do you think she's
like...
gonna heal from that?
No, not you. I'm saying you, Jason. You as a person, like...
It's not real.
But I don't know. Maybe it's just different. Again, different sense of being exposed to make-believe violence. Still, it leaves a mark on me. Like I don't know if I'm like hypersensitive, but it makes me.
I was
like
always growing up. I was taught that you need to be able to have a firm line between what is real and what is not.
Yeah.
I could play any game I wanted my entire life. Because even if my mother, she'd be like, even if I shut down a game for you, you just go to your friends and play it. But as long as you can dictate the difference between what is like real and what is not, is a big point. Because I mean, like in real life, I'm not like, you know, some skimpily dressed woman running around and like my character here. Let's take a look at my female V here. Yeah, hopefully Jeremy never sees the character I have going on, but like, you know, she's running around in high heels stabbing people and pulling their brains out. Like, it's not...
I'm so curious about the thought process in those choices. Like, in what obviously in this world, but like in what world, why would you ever have high heels? I just don't, yeah. But that's fascinating. I didn't know you could, like, again, this is me learning.
Like, my thing is, so I don't know if you've noticed, but I have like an ability that lets me like boost up into the air. How come the high heels don't shatter every time I step back down on the ground?
I know, your tibia and fibia should be completely non-existent at this point.
Well, I mean, you do have the augmentations, right? Your character is full of shimmering, you know, what did you call it? Chromed out?
Chromed out. I was taught this term. All
yeah.
That chrome.
I don't know where I show... Yeah, so the cyberware, is that what they do? They cut you open and they install the modifications. There you go, so you can kind of see it. And I've got like booster leg things, so her legs, fortified ankles.
Jeez, I would love that.
Yeah, just all the stuff. There's something eerie to me about the sense of like doing body modifications like that would be so... That's why Cyberpunk's such an interesting concept, because it is like a mix of like, you know, taking the human body further, but also in the context of like, if you could, would you want to do that to your body? Would you still be you? How much do you take away before you're no longer the human in the flesh that you used to be? Oh, right. Wow. I attracted a bit of a crowd.
It's the heels.
It's I'm flaunting off the heels. Yeah. It brings all the boys to the yard.
Apparently.
Yeah. We got the 5-star here. Somebody said that you did a great job. Sometimes, oh, I guess this would be a bit of a spoiler bit. Sometimes you maybe want to sell you out to read, but you're acting maybe towards your side for your character. Did you pull her personality from someone in your life?
I don't know. I don't think anybody in my life. It's kind of, I think every character I approach, whether it's class or commercial or Cyberpunk, it's kind of like, give me a sense of their essence, and I feel like there's a version of me that can relate to that and can either imagine that or pull something from my own life experiences where I've had to be very much in like survival mode or like highly motivated to protect myself or to get something done, like the objective and yeah, so not any person, no, but I think it was trying to excavate and find parts of me that are connected to her and true.
Oh, sorry. I got like, so it's got like a police system, so they get more aggressive towards you, and then those people with the knives, they insta kill you so much. They got
me. It.
Yeah.
It's frightening.
Just casually murder. Yes, exactly. If I'm behind on comments, guys, I'm trying my best. We're trying to have like a flowing conversation and get to everything people has, so just keep asking if you have them.
How many people are there? I'm curious.
46 right now, live.
Oh, hi guys.
It's a little bit lower than usual, but it's about, yeah, we're still not getting to that first hour point. I do pretty well on my streams, I'm going to be honest with you. I do pretty well. What do you think of voice acting for a game? How is it different compared to the stuff that you normally do?
When I'm saying, be clean with Clorox.
What is your most well-known, before we jump into that, what's your most well-known, like, commercial type thing that you do?
My first big commercial, weirdly, it was not, I'm a Californian, but it was for Georgia Power. And then I have family and friends in Georgia, so it was cool that they got to hear me on TV talking about, at Georgia Power, we put our community first, like things like that.
Oh my god.
See, you can hear, right? But the one that I thought was, I did a Google commercial for the NCAA. So it was actually not just, it was like, Google's like a big company, obviously, and there's...
Oh, Google? Who's that?
Yeah, I done Google. They're this little startup in Mountain View.
Little indie company?
Yeah, they're like, they're getting there.
Yeah.
It's cute. I support them in their indie, their startup endeavors. But that one was specifically cool because it was for NCAA, which a lot of my friends are super into, but it was getting student engineers. Like, it was this whole campaign having student engineers take data from basketball games and like doing cool stuff with it. So I thought that was like a cool nerdy, not telling you to, use this for search, but it was like highlighting a cool program that they're doing. So that was cool. I did something for Samsung with a Parisian fashion company, and I actually recorded that in France.
Oh.
That's actually the trip where the Keanu thing happened. I need to make that freaking TikTok.
You really do?
I do. And then, what else? I've been the voice of food for Albertsons, Safeway. That's like, it's like Kroger, Albertsons, Safeway, Ralph's, like, they're all owned by the same company.
Safeway?
Do you know Safeway?
I thought that was a Canadian brand.
No.
No.
Is it a grocery store?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's headquartered in California.
Oh, I thought it was a Canadian thing. I'm from Canada.
What's the other supermarkets you have there?
Oh god. Save-On,
Okay.
Safeway, Sobeys. I thought maybe Sobeys owns some other ones.
No, it's not.
I think IGA kinda still exists.
We have like Lucky's, and then in LA
Nope.
we have Vons. We have
Nope.
in certain parts there's Kroger's. Not really here, but Kroger's a brand that's in these.
Kroger.
So yeah, they're all like, a lot of these are owned by the same company. So when I did this one commercial as food, I had to like replace the endings. Like,
Oh, so you did it
Safeway.
multiple times, but you changed.
Oh, gazillion. Sincerely, Albertsons. Sincerely, Ralph's. Sincerely.
Do you ever
like,
have to do regional stuff? Regional replacements at the end? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't think so.
Because it's like, you know, because some of those commercials, they do them specifically for different regions, I believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cool one that I thought was really funny because I didn't like my voice. I liked my voice the least in it, but I did a commercial for Rocket Mortgage. I know, don't be jealous, guys. But that actually aired during what was it? The playoffs for like college football. So it like my brother saw it. So that was cool. And then it aired during the Oscars, which is equivalent to my Super Bowl. So I was like, oh my god, I felt like I made it for Rocket Mortgage.
For Rocket.
Yeah.
I do love the Oscars. I actually watch it almost every year.
They're interesting. I don't agree with all of it, but I understand it's like highly political and there's the campaign.
It has its moments.
Yeah, it has its moments. There's some cool stuff to see.
Fun fact: the film festival that I cover in Calgary here, our shorts are the votes in the shorts qualify for Oscars for short films.
Very cool.
This is just kind of a neat little thing.
Yeah, no, it's an exciting thing. I'm very much in the film festival universe, and like I'm premiering. I have a world premiere of the doc that I produced. It's having its world premiere next Sunday. So.
Well, what is it titled?
It is called Ashima. I don't know if anyone out there is into rock climbing, but she's one of the top rock climbers in the world, and she's a young Japanese American woman from New York. But this is when she was like 13 and like obliterating world records and stuff. The film is about her pursuing a world record, and also it's a lot about her and her dad and her family.
Now, can we get that as an infomercial?
Oh. Hey everyone, if you're free during in November, come out to Doc NYC in Manhattan and check out Ashima, a heartwarming documentary about Ashima Shiraishi and her father Popo.
Beautiful.
Turn everything into a commercial.
You kind of can, because the commercials, they have kind of like a vibe to them, right? Where it's like, you know, got like that sort of hook thing where it's like cheery and happy, and the commercials.
Oh yeah. Fun. Well, nowadays the vibe is they want it to be ultra casual.
Really?
Yeah, they want it to be. A lot of the direction is don't be a salesperson, don't be a commercial voice actor, just be a person.
Oh, I heard cozy might be coming in.
What's cozy? What is huh?
So like a really popular thing right now with people are like cozy vibes, cozy living, kind of like, you know, as if you were taking a cup of cocoa and sitting in front of the fire and snuggling up.
I love that.
I heard that's going to be the next kind of thing coming in from, I don't know if that profession, but like advertising and stuff is going to be the cozy phase.
I think yeah, that makes sense. I think people in general can
comfort.
We need comfort right now.
We really need comfort. In this economy, that's my favorite line that I do for everything.
I say that too, a lot.
Yeah. Why aren't you smiling? In this economy?
Yeah, exactly. Are you joking? In this economy? Why would I do that? Did I tell you about my meditation idea? I'm kind of like soft launching it here on your live stream.
Go ahead. But as long as you do it in an ultra pitchy infomercial type way.
But see, that's not the vibe, Jason. I'm going for
cozy?
The cozy casual.
Okay, hit me with the cozy cash.
Yeah. So here's the thing, guys. So my thing was I wanted to, I guess, I don't know what there's like a life path or human design thing that people do, and they kind of like define, are you like an initiator? What are you? Like there's these terms that I still have to explore. But I'm constantly coming up with ideas and thinking of businesses I want to make and films I want to tell and stories that I want to like, whatever, even if I don't make it like fun or something, as we're facing off to someone who's going to shoot you.
Well, did you hear him?
No, what'd he say?
I will violate you.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I just totally distracted.
Who is the voice of that person?
Oh my god, do you ever see those? I see that on IMDb all the time. I think they're called various crowd voices or something, or various noises.
Okay.
Have you ever heard that?
No.
Like, if you go into some people's history in video games, they'll be like, I think it's called, yeah, so some lady, she'll be like a big voice actor, but then in like Red Dead, she'll have been miscellaneous voices or something in the crowd, and I think that's what they call those people.
I'm actually doing dubbing work for Korean dramas. and
Oh.
learning of that. And for the record, that is not struck by the SAG strike.
Oh, you gotta watch for that stuff too, right?
Yeah, yeah, we're not crossing that picket line. But
Yeah.
thankfully, in commercial work, I can still work because that is not affected by the studios. But in dubbing work, it's like incidentals and like just background noise. They just need people to fill the audio space with humans. So you just various characters. Give me background. But to finish my previous
Yes,
thought,
please go back to your cozy thing, which I very awkwardly cut off there.
thing. So the reason I get hired for various jobs that I've done is to be a trusted friend, and I've been told that my voice can be very comforting and very, like reassuring, and I've done that kind of work, and I appreciate. I'm also a podcaster. I didn't even include that when I don't know why. I've been podcasting for 6 years, and I always like fail to mention I have a podcast.
You gotta pitch that stuff. I gave you in the interview. I gave you a pitch spot. Remember?
Yeah, and I just I still, even in today's live stream, I didn't even include that. So
Tisk tisk.
shame on me. But it's called First of All for anybody who wants to listen. I just talk about dating and mental health and racism and all kinds of interesting things from my POV with guests. But because I was told that, people will listen to the podcast just to feel like, they're hanging out with a friend, which I really enjoy. I like listening to podcasts for that too. I wanted to create like a meditation channel basically, and come up, because I do a lot of affirmations and stuff. Oh, that's interesting. Literature.
I'm one of the weird people in video games where I look at the stuff in the backdrop.
Well, somebody designed all that.
Well, okay, when I was little, and I feel like we always get sidetracked, but that's these streams, honestly. It's just chatter that gets sidetracked, always. But when I was little, I always used to look at newspaper clippings in video games and stuff. But back in the day, the resolution was so low, you could never actually read what
Not
anything
anymore.
is. But look at this. Now you can actually, the freaking pens are legible. You can,
Somebody designed that. Someone's thought and creativity went into making that for you.
Hey, in the modern era, it could be AI generated.
Fair. True.
Yeah. But CD Projekt Red, this would have been before that anyways, but
yeah. Well, now it's a whole totally different ballgame.
Cam is
But
stuck.
speaking of that, that's the AI. I'm gonna just keep it. This is my experience as a podcast. I just wrangle it back in. The whole AI thing, I do think, and it is gonna absolutely affect voice acting and voice anything. It is kind of frightening, and there's a little bit of this inevitability that it feels like, this impending doom of we just have to accept that everyone's just going to be AIing our voices, which I want to resist as long as humanly possible. But in light of that, I wanted to make a meditation channel of a real human being helping you do affirmations, because I listen to them almost daily, and doing affirmations or just a pep talk or just talk to you, to be there for you as a friend. So that's my idea for my channel.
There you go, guys. After I sidetracked way too. What is going on?
All good. We found our way back.
I don't. Can you see what's going on here?
Yeah, there's a cat. Or is it a dog? Is that a dog?
It looks like a Siamese cat. I'm trying to crouch, but it's not letting me crouch because I'm in kill mode, because these are bad guys. The yellow means that they're bad.
Okay. Wait,
But-
what yellow? Where does the yellow?
The yellow little bar above their heads. I don't know if you can
Oh,
see that.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that means they're bad guys, but they're just kind of feeding this cat.
If they're bad guys and you're in their presence, wouldn't they attack you?
They don't seem, so there's alertness levels. When they turn red, they know I'm here. So I guess they don't acknowledge me as a threat.
I love that there's cat hovering above the cat to signify
Yeah, the signify that it's a cat. Well, you wouldn't know otherwise.
this is cat, not a skinny chihuahua.
Usually you can pet them too, so that's... I'm going to leave these guys be. That's kind of funny. I was going to also sidetrack you further because, yes, the live streams are just meandering chatter and stuff. But, okay, so there's Spider-Man 2, the game. I don't know if you've heard about that, but Marvel Spider-Man 2, very big right now.
Mm-hmm.
If you go and look up, TikToks or something like that afterwards, or little short videos, the crowd is hilarious. So apparently they hired a bunch of voice people to come in and just do weird crowd stuff. And there's, some people doing yoga in the park, and there's these two women talking about babies, and it's Honestly, I've never been a God. What are the people that take care of children?
Nannies or like au pairs?
Nannies. I think
Uh huh.
something like that. They're like, and she's like, honestly, I've never even held a child before. And the other lady's like, honestly, I've only done it a few times. And they're like, so what do you do? And she's like, oh, just make sure the kid doesn't die. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. And it's just like there's like a 4-minute rant that they were apparently just doing as like background chatter that Spider-Man can swing by and just stop and hear these two talk.
That's hilarious, and they kept it. That's so funny.
Apparently they did multiple versions because I was on Twitter, I think, and I was hearing the lady was talking about. She's like, "Oh, they didn't keep my mad yoga instructor in the park kind of line," and I was like, "Jesus! Like this is like side stuff. Like this doesn't even like this has nothing to do with the story or anything."
That's how nosy people are, though, Jason. That's why we live is to like, what's the tea? Like, why are you upset being a nanny? Or like, well, how come you've never picked up a child
Like the
before?
gossip.
Who
of
hurt
it.
you?
They just like it's a long conversation too, and it's really funny, and it's like. What is it? Oh, how do you keep them dry down there? And it's like, oh, the powder. And it's like, no, we don't do that anymore because of asthma. And she's like, oh, and it's like this huge chat about like,
Now you're getting childcare advice and you're learning things while being
gosh.
entertained.
That's what the streams are about, guys. Being entertained. So be sure to like the stream. Subscribing's great, donations cool. Consider becoming a channel member. There's channel member gifting, the Patreon option, the Discord for stream alerts, chat at great times, the Amazon store affiliate link, and all that great stuff. I have legendary segues.
Good segue.
I just want to put
applaud
that out
the
there.
transition.
Yeah, because you didn't see that coming, did you?
I did not, but I was
Yeah.
highly impressed. It was seamless. Wait, do you get to choose the nail color? Is that another
Yeah.
selection? And you chose green checkers?
Yeah, there wasn't like I think it fits her hairstyle. I want to
Ah, so you're a matching kind of.
yeah, I just want to put it out there. I should not be dressing women. My
We'll leave it at that.
my color coordinating skills. Well, she kind of matches.
But that's the thing. Fashion can be all about not matching.
Well, the thing is, it's like you only get so many choices, and I'd show you customization, but I think it like shows nudity if I go and do that, which stream-wise YouTube doesn't like. But you
Got
only
it.
get so many like clothing things, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, these are all outfits from people I killed. And don't be afraid to ask questions, guys. I need to actually get on. We get distracted. I get around to your stuff, guys. They love the honest answer that you gave about 30 minutes ago about the violence and all that. Me casually murdering people. Someone says you should play Rayman because it's not violent. Rayman's really adorable.
Thank you. I love
It's
getting.
it's like Mario,
Okay.
but you play as Rayman, and he's a cool guy. Dun dun dun.
Rayman.
Somebody's saying a third in Wushu and studied JKD in Wing Chun. I don't know if this is real stuff.
Oh wow.
Is it real?
Wing Chun. Yeah, these are martial arts.
Yeah, get into it. You'll become a more versatile actress. See, sometimes I don't know if people, what they're saying in the chat, if a word I don't understand, I don't like to say it because I never know what people are trying to get me to say sometimes.
That's a very wise and prudent approach. I
Yeah.
respect.
There's been some that I've looked at and like kind of like worded them out of my mind and be like, oh, you son of a... Let's see. Somebody had to shoot Reed to save Songbird. Someone's saying you should join in the WWE live streams because they'd be hilarious. Okay, let me tell you what those are. So there's a WWE, the video game that comes out every year.
Uh-huh.
And what they do is they allow people to create custom characters and share them. So you can
Okay.
have like... And what I do is I commentate over these imaginary matches. So we'll have like people like God, Barney the dinosaur, SpongeBob. So I'll be like, Jesus Christ has entered the ring. Oh my God, he's throwing God out of the ring. And it's like I'm just because you set up a battle royale where it's like 20 fighters just fighting each other,
Okay.
and I'll just commentate over it. Like I don't even play the game. I'm just like commentating over it. And you can have like people will recreate people, so it'll be like, I think the one year we had like Billie Eilish throw poison ivy out of the ring and stuff, and you just like you commentate over what's going on, where it's like, oh my God.
Wow.
But
I
like,
feel like that's such a great exercise for all people, but especially like actors for improv. You just have to
yeah, go with the
wing it.
flow.
Go with the flow and be in the moment.
This is like you got like Spider-Man is like Spider-Man has thrown Batman out of the ring. SpongeBob's not done yet.
And in comes Barney with
The big purple
body
dinosaur,
slam.
the undefeated. You can't stop this guy.
And he'll sit on your head and smother you. That's his like.
That's
Well, I keep
exactly
thinking Barney is like the fluffy version of the dinosaur, not an actual dinosaur. If they had an actual, like, real version of Barney, that'd be actually pretty sick.
the live action Barney. That's coming out.
What?
Yeah, they're doing a live action movie.
Oh God.
I've heard it's supposed to be really like, you know that like in thing because of Barbie. I've heard it's supposed to be a very reflective type kind of movie.
Okay.
You get like kind of the Barbie movie. Like, did you see Barbie?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so that one was very like, it was like Barbie, but it was very like meta,
Potential.
kind of like a darker, grim look at Barbie, if that makes sense. And that seems to be the in thing. Apparently Barney's gonna be like a grim, dark, reflective look at Barney or something. I guess. I don't know how that's gonna work, but...
I wonder what the soundtrack will be if like
Oh,
you get the equivalent of Billie Eilish's "What Was I Made For" Barney.
it's just this dark, grim thing.
Because it'll have to do with love. Because you know his songs, "I Love You," "You Love Me," "We're a Happy Family."
happy
So someone will have to do like the existential, modern, you know, real, hyper realistic version of that. Who can we get for that? That's like a.
Idris Elba. Gotta be Barney. Actually, I think they've already cast. Let me look this up. You put your guess in. I'm gonna look up who's playing Barney.
I'm saying for the soundtrack though.
Oh, the
Ethan. I'm talking
soundtrack.
about- yeah. What would his theme song be? I'm thinking of someone very tragic because like Billie is such a haunting, beautiful. That's why
She'll
when
sit
her
there and
song
she'll
came on
whisper.
in Barbie, huh?
So she'll do a whispered version of "You, I love you," but
I
it'll be
mean,
like a
it'll just
whisper.
be so melancholy, and everyone will weep. Who am I thinking? Is it Louis? Is his name Louis Capote? Like, he's like one of the most tragic singers. He's so good at all the sad songs.
Okay.
Louis Capaldi.
Oh, Capaldi. Ah, okay. I could
He
see
could
that.
do the Barney theme song, and just make us all cry.
So, it's described as an A24 type film that's surrealist and for adults.
Oh, Barney.
Barney.
Wow. Okay, I'll keep my eyes peeled for that one.
Daniel Kaluuya?
Stop.
Yeah.
He's playing Barney?
No, I think he's directing it.
What the?
Yeah, he's directing it.
Okay, that's Barney's Great Adventure, not that. Okay. Daniel Kaluuya's Barney movie will not be odd. That's the headline. It will not be odd. Interesting.
I mean, if you call it an A24 type film, you know what A24 type film is, right? Like,
yeah, I'm quite familiar. That's going to be interesting. Wow. Okay. I'm going to have to go down that rabbit hole later.
So, just for context, people, I'm trying to find the last boss area. Like, it's like a kingpin fight area. So if anyone knows where that is in the game, that would be like really helpful so that I'm not just wandering around. It's like an enclave I need to clear somewhere.
That's all.
Sounds weird though, right? Okay. Some other questions. Would you ever want to be the main protagonist of a game?
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be. It would be daunting and a great challenge.
So, like, your role was technically, like, smaller, but you still were very, very present and, like, as I've said, a main catalyst in this. How long did it take, time-wise, would you say, in, like, months to do your role?
I did ballpark 15 to 17 sessions over the course of, like, I think 8-9 months.
How much
then,
do you think a main protagonist then would take in comparison?
Oh, a lot more. I am really curious. That's a question I have for Jeremy. Like, how many sessions she had to do to do all of her work. I mean, it's just got to be
Beast has a lot of stuff.
I know, and like I can't. So I'd easily like times 5. Like probably she probably had to do like 50 sessions.
Oh, at least. And she probably had to come back too, right? Because the main game and then the expansion later on.
Right.
Wait, I think she did say that. I'm trying to think back to her interview, which was like a month or so ago now.
I'm
See,
thinking
for
like
me,
50 sessions for the expansion, not even for the base game. I'm sure the base game was like infinitely more.
Oh yeah, because the base game was way larger than the DLC was. The DLC was like no, it's like when CD Projekt Red does a DLC, their whole DLCs are like as big as like other people's whole games. They always deliver on DLC stuff. Like that Witcher 3 DLC stuff. Like Phantom Liberty is really, really great. I love Phantom Liberty DLCs. But I always want to give props to the Witcher 3's DLCs. Those expansions were absolutely remarkable. Really, really great stuff too. Absolutely love those ones. There's one where it's like a fairy tale. Like they recreate fairy tale moments, and that's like the DLC is like the main character going through those. And then the other one is like you're doing a vampire hunt across like a gorgeous open like wine country. Stunning.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm sorry, your expansion is a little bit of a sad, grim kind of place that was...
Apparently.
Do you know what the background to this area is? Did they
No.
ever tell you? Oh, okay. I can give you some context. As I fall down and break my ankle. It's the high heels. It's the high heels.
You're not gonna break your ankles because they're reinforced.
Oh, you're you're right. You're right, I'm not gonna break. I think I'm stuck.
The student has become the teacher, Jason.
There we go. Well, I don't have a lot of experience with high heels myself.
Got it.
Yeah, or reinforced ankles.
Hmm.
Because they're, we don't have those yet. But yeah, so this was supposed to be a rich person's like paradise. Like you would come here and vacation or something like that. Like this is supposed to be, and it all just went to hell, and it became like a closed off kind of like a guy with rules it with like an iron fist, a military guy. And, yeah.
Kurt.
So I guess it was supposed to be kind of
Is that
like
Kurt Hansen?
Kurt Hansen?
He's the no, is that not the person?
Isn't that
Who's
Mr.
the person
Hands?
Huh?
I think doesn't he play Mr. Hands, or are you talking about something in real life?
No, he's a character in Phantom Liberty.
Kurt Hansen. Oh, the bad guy you interact with. Yeah, that guy. I think.
Yeah, he's running things.
Yeah, that's a dude. That's a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know more than me because you were actually playing that kind of thing, and I'm totally forgetting. But I'm thinking of I think the guy that plays Mr. Hands, who's like a fixer here. I think his name, like actual name, is like Kurt something. Because I was looking up.
Oh, got
The
it.
people behind the scenes. That's what I'm kind of mixing here. How long did it take to get your first big break in acting, and what was it?
Would this qualify as my big break? I don't
Could be.
know. I feel like personally for me, I think this is in terms of audience size and like impact and sizable character. I'd say this is my big break. But I feel like this is not the on-camera thing, but that's TBD. I'm very like as an actor, I think there's so much a key characteristic that if you have any chance of making it or whatever you want to call it, however that's defined, is persistence and determination. And I think in my case, like what I'm learning, I'm on the spiritual path of like just complete surrender. You don't know what's going to happen or what's going to be a big break or what you think is going to be a big break and it ends up falling through and just disappears into the ether. You never know. So yeah, I don't know. It depends. I think this is a pretty big deal. I think playing, even if it's not in person, live action, but playing opposite Idris Elba is like the biggest freaking deal to me. I'm
He's so cool.
Infinitely grateful for this. Like, it's so cool.
I would think that, like, big break-wise, wouldn't that be more of a reflective thing in life as opposed to, like, an ongoing thing, if that makes sense? Like, wouldn't your big break be something you would reflect upon further along in one's career, like, towards the end of it? Being like,
Possibly.
that was my big break. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think, again, how everybody defines it, it's like, oh, Oh, there's another cool moment that I had as an actor years ago, if anyone wants to look at it. It's still one of my favorite things that I made, but I was a BuzzFeed actor with my friends back when BuzzFeed was a thing, right? Because that was
Yeah.
a moment. Um, and my friend Chris was a producer at BuzzFeed back when all those producers were like, they were just churning out content. Their quotas were insane, like witnessing what they were committed to doing, like week after week after week. It's just churning out video after video. But he had an idea at the time. I think it was like 2015 or 16. It was several years ago. But he had an idea to do a video on like odd ways Asian moms say "I love you," which is like telling you you're fat or did you eat yet, and like, you know, that's how they say "I love you," which is a lot of truth. Even though my mom tells me she loves me all the time.
No.
Stereotypically. And we wanted it to be lighthearted. It wasn't to like ridicule our moms. It was just to like make light and laugh about the shared experience of like Asian moms not being able to say "I love you" and making fun of you or berating you in order to show their love. So we did this video. We like crowdsourced it amongst our friends. We just like posted it on our Facebooks because that was a big thing at the time. And we got all these like funny ideas. We filmed it in like an hour and a half. And it was me, my friend Jenny Yang, who's a comedian, and then Joy Regalano, who's a great comedian and actress. And the three of us just like dressed up as our moms and did this funny BuzzFeed skit. But that was the first time I ever went viral. And you never know. Again, people make things all the time. It could get 100 views, 1,000 views, or it could get 1 million. And we got like 3.5 million views in a few days. So that was my first experience being in something that was so like such a hit. And we were apprehensive too, because at the time there's always been these sensitive conversations around race and representation, which I'm really passionate about unpacking and learning and sharing my POV. But I was a little worried that people were going to get, you know, irate for different reasons and like be hateful in the comments. But I would like literally 98% of all the comments, and we had so many, people were just like laughing and celebrating their moms. They're like, "Oh my gosh, this is my Italian mother. This is, you know, this is my Russian mother." It was this relatable thing amongst all these different backgrounds and ethnicities. So it was like a unifying moment. And I was so I was astonished. Like, this is such a cool thing. And that was actually the first time I did something really comedic. And so I'd say that's like a really fun milestone in my life. I genuinely felt like, oh my gosh, like I've made it, because all these people have gravitated towards it. They found the humor. They, you know, connect with the humor. They don't hate it. It's hitting a big audience. Like, that was a really cool moment and very, very unexpected.
So we've got a bit of a fun lead up from that. Have you had a Costco hot dog before?
Hell yeah, I have. We're talking about $1.50.
$1.50 hot dogs. That's a big thing on the channel. I have an emote where I'm holding a hot dog, the Costco hot dog.
That's actually a precious thing that I always treasure, because my dad and I like to go to Costco and get hot dogs.
Did you ever touch hot dogs?
Did I ever touch hot dogs?
Yeah, so on the Costco Canada Instagram, they have a picture where it's two ladies. They go together to buy the Costco hot dogs, and then when in the foil, before they go to eat them, they tap the hot dogs together. And I was like, oh.
Aw.
That's like a best friend
I have
moment.
never participated in touching hot dogs.
Tapping
I feel
the
we're
dogs.
getting into some spicy territory with that. I'm getting some innuendo, but no, I have not.
It was yeah. I was like, oh, that's so adorable. I want someone in life that I could do that with. For you.
Yeah, it's a funny little thing to share. That's funny. It's this whole Instagram channel you said?
Yeah, it's the Costco Instagram.
Oh,
Canada.
the Costco Instagram.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers with the hot dogs is kind of what it is. But like, yeah, it's because we mentioned that we had a thing. We still kind of do it, but like Instagram stories. Yeah, I'm sure you're aware of Instagram stories. So we had that for YouTube. We had YouTube stories, and people on the channel, they would donate $1.50 with a hot dog emote, and then I would go and I would take a picture of me eating the Costco hot dogs.
Nice little.
That's something we would do here.
Little nod to the fan base. I love it.
Yeah, I think they got rid of the YouTube stories, but we still occasionally do the hot dog stuff. I actually have a queue. Still, I'm still working through the queue, and people donate still for it. Let me see if I can find this.
It's become your shtick.
It's like a thing, yeah. Well, I guess you can't see it, but I'll show it for the people. It's like a written note of the people's names. Like, I can't show it to you because you're seeing my feed, And again, guys, the fact that the stream even works as it does is kind of mind-blowing to me, but she can only see the game because I can't split feed my webcam and the game to her at the same time. So, yeah, it's amazing this works as it does, honestly. So there we go, we got the hot dog thing. You wish Vancouver had a film festival. I wish every major city or even smaller cities had film festivals. I think they're really important for like celebrating like movies and shorts and allowing people like in different regions to have their voices kind of heard. I think film festivals are a great thing.
I absolutely agree. There are more and more emerging though. So as a filmmaker, I'm like submitting my short film and stuff on Film Freeway, which has become pretty dominant, or like the way to submit to film festivals en masse. But according to that website, there's a gazillion small emerging local festivals happening all the time. I always get newsletter notifications of like, you know, this new thing in Tampa and then this thing in Omaha and this thing in, like, wow, they're just popping up all over the place.
What the hell's going on here?
Is this silent disco situation? What is this?
Well,
I can't hear anything, so
you can't hear anything either? Really? Oh, God damn
I can only hear you.
Oh. Huh.
Also, I love the soundtrack for the music, the Rebel Path for Cyberpunk.
Oh God, this whole game's got just an incredible.
Oh, it's so good.
Incredible like soundtrack. The audio, everything in this game is so well done. I'm gonna fast travel back to. I'm gonna fast travel back to that area. But yeah, no, there's no music playing. It's really weird. They're just dancing.
Speaking of soundtrack, I had a thought that I did not mention earlier, but when I was on Twitter or X or whatever, I still call it Twitter.
Yeah.
I will call it Twitter forever.
We all.
When I was on Twitter and I like revisited Twitter once Cyberpunk came out because I wanted to like see what the landscape was out there and how it was being received, and I hadn't tweeted in years. But it's been really, really cool because people are tagging me in all these like amazing artwork pieces. And so I was compiling them and I was doing screenshots. And on my Spotify, I happened to be listening to Billie Eilish, and What Was I Made For came on.
Mm.
And I was like, that's such a beautiful, tragic song for Songbird.
It pairs.
It does pair with her so well, and I got really emotional. So I was looking at all her like beautiful images, stills of her from the game while Billie Eilish was playing, and I was like, oh, my heart.
Oh, did you have like a cool drawn one you wanted to highlight?
A drawn Songbird?
Yeah, I think. Didn't you show that to me before we started streaming? Or am I crazy?
Oh, that was. I think that's like they call it like still photography from the actual game.
Oh, like an in-game image. Got it.
They take portraits, and I don't even know how.
Oh, okay. If you look at the screen right now, I'll show you the photo mode quickly.
Okay.
So you can do. This is kind of how it works. You can change like the depth of field and stuff.
Oh wow! Whoa!
I'll show you some of the poses. Oh no, that's idle action pose. Stop the police, and then she does all this like. Oh, this one's my favorite. She's like doing like a Matrix type jump back.
Yeah.
Cyber. Like, how do you do
What
this?
is happening?
Oh, and then okay, and then expression. So we'll get in close to her face, and you can do. Oh, whoa! Night City strut. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
But I'm trying to get up to her face. Sorry, it's a little awkward, like the angling. There we go. But you can change their expression, so you could be like, "Arr."
Oh wow! Okay, whistling.
You can have them like look at the camera.
Oh wow! That's how they're doing it.
Yeah, it's genuinely impressive.
This one, okay. Let's show it.
Here we go, guys.
This one was like I love.
A little lower.
Lower.
There we go.
In the ring light. Yeah, it's so beautiful, like the expression. And I didn't get to see this. So this was like the challenge. So I don't know how they were doing the matching, I guess. Like, I don't know if they had already matched the expression to what the writing was and what the line was, or if they had to have me record it first and then kind of adjust her expression.
I guess
or if
they'd have
my
to do the rig work on it, right?
yeah, like I don't know how that all played out, but that was like an interesting challenge for me to like record it without seeing her, without like seeing her expression or knowing, like seeing anything. I don't see. Literally, they would just describe what the situation is, and
Did,
then on occasion they had little snippets. If we were lucky enough, they'd have little snippets of like what's happening, and then they could preview that for me. Um,
hmm.
that wasn't for everything.
So did you find that you got like a good description as to like what you looked like, or was it kind of just your character's essence, that's to say, or just like context you were given?
They showed me Songbird right out the gate. So that's when it clicked of what Cyberpunk was. Because when in the thing, and that's part of this bigger story of like Keanu, how I manifested Keanu, because I did.
Mm.
But in the clip that they showed me, there again, so Pierce tells me like, "You're in Cyberpunk." Totally goes over my head. I'm like, "Dope! Do we have to come every day?" Like that. Like, so we have that moment, and then he's like, "Wait, do you want to see what she looks like before we like jump into it?" And I was like, "Yeah!" I got really stoked. I was like, "I want to see what she looks like." So they showed me this video, and it's very early on, nothing this refined at all. But it was like, kind of her primitive version of her, and then she walks up to a guy in the clip. It's just probably like 15-second clip. She puts her hand on his face, and I was like, "That looks like Keanu Reeves." They're like, "Yeah, because it is." I was like, "Oh my god!" And that's when it clicked. So I had to see Keanu and realize, oh, this is that Keanu Reeves game that got like there was like a whole like internet meltdown about it.
Oh
That's
yes,
when it
there
that's when
was.
it came to
You know that's still ongoing.
what?
The
The
how
uproar?
Yeah, still to some degree people are still not totally pleased, which is
I
fascinating.
mean, it might be fair. People are impacted deeply. Again, if you bring up certain movies to me, I get very upset as if it's like brand new information. So I get it. I can't judge.
I will I'll never get over that last Star Wars movie.
See, I didn't get that far in Star Wars because I stopped enjoying them.
Oh,
Well, I did like the one with Daisy. That's her name, right?
Daisy Ridley. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed those. I don't know if I'll get canceled for this. I just didn't like Anakin Skywalker. That
You can't say that online.
the actor, he wasn't.
Hayden Christensen? Unbelievable.
Jason.
Forgive her, guys. Increased boss activity. So I'm trying to like find where the last like there's three of these like boss things in this area, and I'm trying to find where the last one is, and I'm so oh here, there's one there. Oh, or did I do that one? No, we did that one. God damn it. Okay, I'm gonna go and get some more questions from people. Thanks for being a channel member, Flydemic. I totally missed the mark on that too. So, be sure to like the stream and all that stuff, guys. Alright, let's catch up. The best part of my streams is when I ask for likes. Your son loves it. Nice. My segues are so good. Like, when I have someone too that I can play off of, like Kevin and stuff, my segues can be so damn, like, they can be so smooth. Any spoiler questions allowed? Sure. I mean, we're like however long in here. Go ahead. Okay, we got the hot dogs. We talked about Barney. How does it feel playing a character that players V can choose to save in exchange for their own life? The only way you get the NUSA ending is to hand over Songbird, but many players don't.
Hmm. How does that feel?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. What I'm understanding about the game and the world is that it's full of people all out for their own survival. Um, so in a way, like she fits right in. Um, and I get very philosophical and like meta about it, but I do think it's just a parallel to life of like how we are all consciously or not consciously just doing our best to get through and like thrive or survive. And yeah, it sucked. Like it sucked to be. It's really wild to play a character that so many people like hate, depending on the choices they make and like their interactions with them, and to like see the comments on that. It's like because I have so much love for Songbird, but I'm fully aware of her flaws too. Like I'm not like blind to it. Also, it took me a while to actually figure out the entirety of like the complexity of what was actually going on. And I'm being very transparent. I didn't understand. I understand what my objectives were at different points, but kind of like the overall thing didn't fully gel until later. But I try to approach all people with like a level of empathy, and I don't know what their deal is. I don't know what their story is. If they're mean to me or they're nice to me, I don't know what their motivations are. So it's kind of like, yeah, we all love V because V's the person that we experience this entire game through. So it's natural that like when you find out certain information, you feel betrayed and all that. It's like extremely difficult to like navigate that. It feels so personal. It is personal. And then to play the character that like disrupts that or plays a part in that sucks for me. But I also think like that's the suspension of disbelief, like playing a character. It's like, yeah, everyone can be a hero and a villain. It just depends on who you're interacting with.
Oh,
so it's like very
perspective
interesting.
Too.
Huh?
Perspective too.
Yeah, and perspective. Like, what do you know? What do you not know? There's so many different choices and paths. But yeah, that's why she sits so much with me. I still think about a lot of this and like and I'm very curious like how other people are, what they're taking away from interacting with her.
Have you seen the anime?
I haven't yet. Edge Runners, no. I try to take time to watch shows in general. So yeah, I alluded to this in the question that I mistakenly answered in a very long-winded answer. I'm like actively trying to have more downtime because I work a lot and I love my work, which is great, but I want to like watch and consume more things. I have not watched Edge Runner yet.
I've heard it's very good, but at least you're aware of it.
Yeah.
Someone likes that you're very down to earth. And Stu, I hope you're feeling better soon. Thomas was having lung issues too, so I hope you guys are both feeling better. I don't know if Thomas is here tonight. Got the regulars. I'm like a barkeep. It's kind of what I think about it.
Yeah, it's your tavern.
It is.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
Someone loves your character. What's cracking? You just missed the Kraken again, man. You're very close there. Would be cool to get an Idris Elba interview. Yeah, it would be. But,
Let's all collectively wish that, guys. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, that would be nice. I'm trying to do more of the interview type stuff. I really enjoy it. It's nice, and it's a bit of a break from, like, some of the stuff I normally do, because it's like a review games, so it's like I'm playing them, reviewing them, blah, blah, blah. It's like, same sort of thing all the time, but, like, the interviews are actually, like, I get to flex some different talents or communicate with some different people, and it's nice to mix things up. And like I said, we've never done anything like this, so if you guys like this format and stuff, feedback is great on it. Obviously, I need to find a way for our guests to be able to see and hear things a little bit more effectively.
All a work in progress.
Yeah.
Jason and I had our interview, and he was like, do you want to just give this a shot? I was like, sure, let's do it. I don't know what I'm doing, but let's go.
Yeah, let's try it. Well, no one's ever really interested in what I do at all.
You have an audience. Clearly, they're interested.
Oh, no, they are. But like in a day-to-day, like I don't know. Like if you were to explain what I do to someone, how would you go about that?
If I'm explaining what you do,
yeah,
you are a passionate gamer who likes to share and review that. So you're like, I guess, is that categorized as like an influencer? You're a content creator. Content creator,
influencer stuff. But like, if you're going to like a regular person, let's say someone's mom, and you're trying to explain like what it is I do as like a career, it's a bit weird, right? Like it's
see, in my universe, that's perfectly normal.
Yeah.
So I think the mom's the weird one for not knowing it. But I get why she doesn't know it. But I'm like, Honey?
Yeah, because what was it? I was talking with someone, and I was like, they were trying to ask like what I do. First off, they were like, "Oh, what are you doing? You finishing high school?" I'm like, "No, I'm like 30," which was hilarious because I
Deceptively, this youthful face.
yeah, very youthful face. And then she's like, "So what do you do?" I'm like, "I play video games." That's what I kind of lead with, and she's like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, and I like show them to people and because it's still like it's an emerging thing, sort of. Like, you can say what you do, right? You do voice acting, or you do directing, or people know that.
Yeah.
But still, in general, people are like, huh? What?
Then you can be their gateway.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool because the gaming world is so gigantic. It's just very, like, I feel like insular, as a lot of worlds are. You know, there's people... My ex was super into cars, right? Like, he was in the Rice Rocket era, and all he was... That was, like, a very specific community that was very big. There were lots of people involved in it, but if you didn't know, like, you just were not exposed to it at all. Maybe you'd see, like, the occasional Rice Rocket down the street and everything, but you wouldn't see them all, like, just modding their cars up like crazy and doing all the decals and all the... Oh my god, it was insane. But
yeah,
it's just,
like,
you know, everyone has their niche world.
You know what I mean? Like, if you saw a car like that, you'd be like, oh, cool car, but you wouldn't think of the behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
You'd have no context.
People can get more curious, and that's what I think, that there's like this what's the right word? Is it like crossover? I feel like there's this, you know, blending of worlds right now, especially because of the streaming world, and stuff like Edge Runners and like bringing anime into it, or having a live action version of a game, and what's happened with Last of Us and stuff. I think it's really, there's so much more exposure and ways in to like understand.
That's a good question for you that hasn't popped up yet. They're making a live action something or other in Cyberpunk. Would you be intrigued by that?
Absolutely. My concern is, would they have any interest in including me? But hell yeah, I'd be so down.
Like, I don't even know what that's gonna... We have no information about it other than they've signed off to say that they're doing it.
Ah, very cool.
Like, we don't know if it's gonna be a show or a movie, but something Cyberpunk live action is officially coming. I think that was announced literally like a week or two, a few weeks ago.
There were things alluding to that on Twitter, like some people tagged me and stuff, and they were saying like, you have to be in the live action thing. So I didn't know if that meant there was an actual live action thing happening, or they were speaking theoretically.
No, it's officially a thing now.
I must look into that.
And I mean, like, all the actors kind of look like they're in-game characters too, so you could basically do that if they wanted. But that's the thing too, is like, we have no idea what the hell it's gonna be, right?
Yeah.
It'd be like an off-world thing that has nothing to do with the story of this game. Cyberpunk's it's a city, it's a universe, right? So
Right. You could just make all brand new characters that live within the universe.
It could be a whole new city, it could be a whole new place, it could be...
I feel like that'd be kind of that's what I was listening to something today about, how they're doing, you know, revivals or like continuations of shows and stuff like that, of shows, right?
Yeah.
Like old properties. It'd kind of be like, you know, reviving a show without any of the original characters, dude. It would suck. Like, the audience would like, why are you reviving this, not including any of the people that we fell in love with to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine there'd be some key. I imagine V and certain characters would be like, you can't not have them in it.
No, there'd probably be cameos at least.
Yeah.
I wonder how you would do that though, because if you were wanting, say, a V, which V would you go with?
Good question.
You know,
that was interesting for me because I didn't get to. I heard a lot of Jeremy and not as much of Gavin when I played off of in the recording. But both were like fascinating to me because it's such a different reaction.
Different interpretations to the same character, but played off entirely different.
Mm-hmm.
It's fascinating, actually. Did you imagine how much work that must be, rigging those character models to work for either or voice?
That's why I was like mind blown, because I was like, by the voice work that I'm doing, I'm getting a small, giant sense of how many insane amount of layers there are to this game.
Yeah.
Technically, like, in terms of engineering this and building it. So hats off to the developers. I can't even, like, it makes sense why it takes so long and so much intricacy to get this done.
It's deeply layered. Like this stream, so be sure to like the stream. Subscribing is great. Donations cool. Consider becoming a channel member. There's channel member gifting, the Patreon option, and the Discord for stream alerts, chat, and great times, and that Amazon store affiliate link if you're into it.
Well done.
Yeah,
I applaud thee.
How much of your own personality do you put into your character, and do you think how you would personally react if you were in your character's situation?
How I would, oh, good question. Songbird feels reminiscent of a younger me. In certain ways. And I don't think I would be as, like, openly hot-headed as her to the wide public. Or, like, I think she has a boldness that I admire, because I was like, oh, I wish I could. Huh?
She's pretty cocky.
Right. Like, there's, like, that, she has a lot of, cockiness is, like, rooted in a lot of self-confidence, which can be anybody's folly. Anything that's your strength can be, you know, your fatal flaw.
Your problem,
Yeah. So, like, there's parts of her that feel familiar to me, but it's not, like, my predominant traits. So, yeah, I don't know how to describe it. She feels very, like, real to me, and she feels like an extension of me, a version of me, if you will. Like, the badass in me, the really hyper-confident, cocky, bold, whatever it takes person. Her volatility, like her anger, yeah, I got that in me too. I think it's been a lot more subdued now that I've, like, done my inner child healing, which I recommend to everybody. But yeah, I've come to peace with a lot of things, so I don't have as much rage as I used to, but, like, it still feels very familiar when she gets mad. I know you got food. Give me some. What was the other question?
Oh, how would you react if you were in that character's situation?
I would want to say that I'd be as, like, go. And I do get like that. I've had to run a lot of things. I play a lot of leadership positions, so I've had to, like, work under pressure, like, and have to deliver and execute and just, like, be the best version of myself when all systems are go. So I'd like to think I could handle myself relatively well, but I don't think I could do it with the same. I don't know. Now I'm being, like, self-doubtful. I think I just freaked the hell out. There'd be more crying, that's for sure. There would be a lot more crying prior to the moments that we see her cry. I would be having a meltdown every couple hours.
Well, you're technically, your character's a very, very important person, because you were, like, right hand to the president of the whatever exists in this era.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah,
yeah, there was actually, not from this sort of chat, but there was someone that mentioned that your character is a bit, like, almost reckless in her use of, like, they call it the Blackwall?
Mm.
What do you think of your character as in the sense that she sort of is reckless pushing this technology that shouldn't maybe be pushed? If that makes sense.
It's you.
From what I understand, again, I won't speak like I'm the biggest expert on all the intricacies of the technology, because I'm not. So I don't want to misspeak on that. So that's my disclaimer. I think she has a lot of, like, she has a lot of her own, like, type of demons, like the things that drives her ego, and her like, that boldness comes from somewhere of, like, either just, like, pure ego and, like, wanting to prove something, or curiosity kills a cat, and, like, you think that, like, no matter what happens, I'll figure out a way to get out of it, kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's a very relatable trait, and people have it in varying degrees, but I think everyone has something where they push things too far. You know, like, you're like, okay, we should, you know better to leave well enough alone, but you don't. that's the part that I connected with her on that. So yeah, I'm like, there's a lot of people doing that with technology, with relationships, with everything. You're going a step too far. But it's hella dangerous, and the more powerful, like your smarts and your craftiness, that's your power. But again, your power can be your downfall. It can be your doom. It's very telling in that way. But the Blackwall thing, I'm genuinely like, I'm scared of AI. I'm fascinated by it, but it's also like, if I had a choice, I'd rather not go there. But that's too late.
But do you have a choice?
We don't have a choice. It's already happening. From what I hear, my friends who work in tech, not a choice.
No, it's so emerging and everywhere.
Yeah.
How did you get into voice acting?
By accident. I've been podcasting for a while, and I've hosted, and I've been acting for a while. I've been acting technically since I was a kid, but not professionally since in my adulthood. And I have a lot of friends in the industry who all do their different like day jobs. Everyone kind of wants to be the next Spielberg or Fincher, but they have to do commercial work. They have to do other things to like pay the bills, right? So one of my really good friends, Ed, he was doing a commercial for OPI nail polish. I don't know if anyone on the chat knows OPI.
Actually, I've heard of that because I believe they did a crossover with Xbox.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very high, good brand, a high-end nail polish, and he was working on as one of his clients, and so they had OPI nail polish commercial that he was editing, and his voice actor wasn't available to the next day, and he was trying to like get work done ahead of time, so he texts me at like 9 p.m. on like a Wednesday. It's like, Minji, are you busy? Like, I really want to finish this edit, but I don't have my voice actor till tomorrow. Are you down to like come record a few lines so I can get this edit done? So I had nothing to do, so I was like, sure. I went over and hung out with him and our friends, and I recorded a little bit so he could edit his commercial. And he was like, you're really good at this. And I was like, oh, thank you. And I'd been complimented on my voice from various people before, and yeah, so I was like connecting certain dots. I was like, you're not the first person to tell me XYZ. So then he had another that one that he had me do a stand-in voice for got finished with the actual hired actor the next day, and then another one popped up for OPI nail polish, and he recommended me for it. So that was my first gig, based on my editor friend Ed, who referred me. I booked it, and they're like, yeah, we think she's great, and I did an OPI, little thing commercial, and so that was that. And then I did a Spotify thing. Same guy, Ed, recommended me to Spotify to do something on K-pop, and I did that. And suddenly I was like, oh, I've gotten booked by OPI and Spotify right out the gate. Like, maybe I'm onto something. So those are the seeds that were planted. But that was like in 2015 or 16, like many years ago. And then I just started dabbling here and there. It was like a long on-ramp, and then it kind of took off 2019.
So it's all who you know.
Yeah, and it's people that see something in you, and then a mix of like you being receptive to that and not shutting it down and being curious about it. Yeah.
That's actually that's a really great story. That's funny that I actually know what that nail polish is because of Xbox.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, that is actually funny.
Yeah. Huh. But it's been really fun, and actually prior to COVID, I decided I had to look at my finances actually at the time, and anyone who's like in the creative space, like, and you included, Jason, like, it's a hustle and you have to be able to live, right? So
you gotta make money.
I had to look at my finances, and I was spending a lot more on camera acting of like all the websites and my headshots and like uploading reels, and honestly trying to do on camera acting it's a huge investment of unpaid labor, huge investment. And so I decided in 2019 to take a break from on-camera acting because I kept getting booked for voiceover stuff. So I was like, it seems like that's more of where my demand is. So in order to stay afloat, I'm going to back off the on-camera stuff, and I'm going to focus on voice acting to see if I can make a financial cushion. And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then I had a home studio, so I actually got to work a lot during the pandemic. So I was really, really, really crazy lucky. So that's how
Gotta
that happened.
prioritize what works. I'm really in the zone right now because I'm trying to evade the
Do
cops
it.
so that I can deliver this car, and it's just like they are not like I'm not losing them. They just know where I am.
All good. You play your game. Actually, Jason, I was gonna say probably in a few minutes I'm gonna have to pass out again because
Yeah, that's
my
totally fine.
my.
But let's speed run some stuff.
Okay.
Not a question, but most kick-ass moment was when V holds her ground fights off the space person to protect, or the spec ops to protect Somi. Someone just want to put that across. Somebody said Songbird is a badass. Has she played Cyberpunk herself? Nope. As a voice actor, have you tried the microphone from a Canadian company called Advanced Audio?
I have not.
CM800T. People saying female V is the canon V. Agreements with the AI notes. Who's your favorite movie actor?
It's my favorite. Wait, it was something about AI? What was that?
Oh, just agreeing with what you were saying about AI.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a scary thing. I heard commentary from people who work in tech. They're like, if anybody can predict what life is going to look like 5 years, past 5 years from now, they said their opinion was like, I think they're lying. Like anybody who can say with confidence what our world's going to be.
It's changing so fast.
I was like, that's terrifying.
Have you noticed that note though? Like it just like with all the tech that we keep having, it's just like it's faster and faster and faster. Like how things are changing.
It is, but I feel like it's simultaneously. I'm like aware of that, but it's also the fact that we're a frog in the boiling water effect. You know, like we're cooking with it. I don't. If we were dropped into this, it would be a very different reaction. But it's all like happening in real time around us. So I think us as humans, we're just trying to adapt at every moment. So I don't think it's like registering in kind of like a critical mass way.
Like it's like for me it's been so strange because like literally when I was young in school, like really young, we didn't have phones, and then we had flip phones, and then like right when I was finishing high school we started getting the the smartphones of today, right? The touch screens and everything. And now you've got kids that are literally growing up from day one having these types of screens like every day, and it's like it's changed so swiftly. People don't think of that because you change with it, but yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, we were talking about that because like I aged myself, but like yeah, I had a childhood with none of that, and it's really bizarre to see like just in my lifetime how much it's flipped on its head. But favorite movie actor, right, was a question?
Yep.
It sounds so cliche, but she's an icon. I love Meryl. I'm a Meryl Streep fan. I'm a big 90s film lover. So I think a lot of those actors from that time period mean a lot to me. So I'm big on Meryl. I'm big on Tom Hanks. I'm big on there's the Al Pacinos and the De Niros, and they're all incredible, and Liam Neeson and Michael Caine is incredible. The younger ones from I love Heath Ledger, I love Cate Blanchett, I love Michelle Williams, I love Viola Davis. Oh my God, I'm very I think a lot of the dramatic actors that have really shaped film. I'm just complete awe of them. So yeah, that's for movie actors. Then in TV, I'm a huge comedy nerd. So I love all in my time, what I refer to as the classic SNL women like Amy Poehler and Maya Rudolph and Kristen Wiig and all them. I love them. And I love The Office, Parks and Recreation. I love those shows. So that's the TV universe. And TV, I feel I lean a lot more comedic. But there's so many. I mean, I can't even list how many. There's so many actors that I love. There's insanely talented people out there.
Okay, I think we've got one more. Did CD Projekt Red let you listen to any of the in-game soundtrack for your scenes? Before or after?
No. The soundtrack? I didn't hear any. I think that would have been badass. I would have loved that. But I think we're all creating in parallel to each other. So, yeah, when I first started recording Songbird, there was no other, even Shermie and them hadn't recorded their lines yet. So all the lines that I was getting fed to start, reacting as Songbird was all to the director. So he was, the stand-in V, the stand-in Kurt Hansen. He was the stand-in everybody. So he would just feed me lines and I'd have to react off of him. It got really cool when I started hearing other people's performances. I was like, it's alive.
There's other people on the other end.
Yeah, there's other people contributing. I'm not just me in a box.
That is it like, I don't know, lonely and or weird to just kind of be, because you spend a lot of time in one room with a microphone and it's like a quiet kind of room. Do you find that like strange, like coming in and out of that?
It definitely is. I had a lot of confidence in the team that whatever they're going to stitch together was going to be epic. I just had that knowing and that instinct. You can just tell. You can tell when people are on their A game. But yeah, the actual experience, it felt so surreal. So what, like, all of this stuff had been recorded, like many, many hours of stuff had been recorded and I'd heard bits and pieces like put together. But then it all went away, and then it was like 7 months or something before it came out. And then it was actually something real and like tangible I could like hear. It was a very surreal experience. And it was pretty, not totally lonely because I was always in there with our director and a couple writers or like other people in the room with us to like bounce off of and chat with and joke with. But yeah, it was definitely not this ensemble epic, just a million other sound effects going on in the world and the music. None of that existed. It was a very barren universe that we were just like this vacuum that we're like saying lines into and try to create something.
Okay, there we go. Since you want to be heading out here, anything you'd like to wrap up and say? Anything you want to go over quickly? Final plugs,
No,
stuff like that?
this was my first live stream, so thanks guys. This was really fun. And thank you, Jason.
Thanks for joining in. I'm probably gonna keep on streaming along, so I think you can just leave the Skype thing and it will all work theoretically.
Okay, well maybe I'll see people on. So this is being streamed onto Twitch, right? Sorry, I'm sounding
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Sorry.
I'm a YouTube stream person.
Okay, got it. So either YouTube. Yeah, I am exploring my options. Like either YouTube or Twitch. I don't know where I'll end up, but this was really fun. And I have other friends who are voice actors for different games. So we actually chatted. They've been really like helpful big brothers in this journey. So we talked about like, oh, should we like stream together and talk about our respective games and our whatever, or talk to people. But this is just fun. Again, I'm trying to have more fun on purpose every day. So this was really, really fun. And I had a great time, even though I couldn't see all the chat. It was great to like answer questions and share the story because there's so much that I feel like it just happened in like a fever dream. I was like, was that real?
Well, I appreciate you jumping on. This was a fun experience for me because, like I said, I literally have not done anything quite extensive like this. So I hope it all turns. I'm gonna have to watch it afterwards and see how everything turns out. But
yeah,
yeah,
go have fun. Go play. Have fun playing. This is very, very cool.
There you go. Oh, people are asking final plugins aside from that, I guess.
Final plug.
You do a podcast.
Podcast. Follow me on Instagram, guys. At hey guys, if you'd like to follow me, my Instagram is Minjeezy and it has links to everything. My link tree is there, MINJEEZY, and my podcast is called First of All. I don't talk about gaming, but I do need to make an episode to catch everybody up on the journey. And I do want to invite folks from the game onto my show. That'd be really fun. I am getting into like the video thing, so there's not a ton of video. I don't do the video podcast. It's strictly like 99% audio. So you can find me on Spotify and all that stuff. First of All podcast. And yeah, keep an eye out. There's different people that have been knocking on my door about potential future projects. I have no idea how those will pan out. I will not talk about them publicly because I don't want to get in trouble. But this is like the beginning of a crazy new chapter. I'm excited to see what happens, and I just appreciate all the support and all the enthusiasm. It's seriously really wild and really fun, and I love it.
Thank you for joining in.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Alright, I think we're good. I don't know what just popped up on the screen for you guys, but we'll keep playing for a bit and whatnot. So, you know, if you guys have feedback about how that all kind of like worked out and stuff, that's great too, because yeah, that was definitely a bit of a learning experience. I hope it all set up really good. Poppy is next. You know what, honestly, with the Switch version of, what was it? Yeah, the Switch version of Hogwarts Legacy coming, I was like debating on seeing if the Poppy actress wanted to give it another try. I was literally sitting there like hovering over like sending a response again, but it was just like, it was so, like I had to do so many emails back and forth, and there was like, you know, like a few times I was like left hanging, and it was just kind of like, I don't know, we'll see if I feel about it, if I want to try the Poppy thing again, but it was just like, I don't know, like sometimes you set these up and it just works and, you know, everything's good, and, you know, sometimes it's just like, you know, sometimes the interviews don't turn out, or sometimes you don't get coordination going on. It happens. It totally does. You know, it can go either way. But yeah, we got to do more stuff. Jeremy, Jeremy's really busy. Like I said earlier, she just had a kid, which is great. You know, she was sharing that on the Twitters. But I'm just sharing you guys, hopefully, liking the stream. So be sure to like the stream. Subscribing's great. Donation's cool. Consider becoming channel member, cool perks, emotes, icons. There's channel member gifting, the Patreon option, and all that stuff. I don't know how much longer we'll go on for, but for a bit, you know, chat and do our usual thing, because we obviously mix things up a bit tonight. But yeah, I've been trying to do the Jeremy, kind of like, we were talking about doing like a crossover interview. We talked about that, a bit about that. I don't know if we really talked about it a bit tonight, but like the idea that we had kind of come up with was that we would do a Songbird X female V kinda sort of chat, if that makes sense. And I thought that would be like a really cool kind of thing to do, because I've never done, like, I've interviewed multiple people and I've had multiple people I've chatted with before, but like I've never done really a like cross interview, like two people at the same time in that format. I've never really done anything like that, so I thought it might be a cool thing to kind of do. I'm gonna steal that car, I think. I'm trying to get this achievement for like stealing the vehicles. Introduce the vehicle missions. Take out enemies. Think about get a call. Oh, after 8 vehicles. Okay. So anyways, yeah, that was kind of the idea, was like a cross interview. But like I said, even when I was kind of pitching it and talking about it, you know, obviously Jeremy's gonna be pretty busy having a kid, so I did reach out and, like, you know, contact her representatives, and they kind of pass that along. So if something does happen with that, which would be cool, it would probably be not for like a bit, or if it does happen, I'm sure I'll give you guys a bit of a heads up on that, because it'd be really cool to do like a cross interview thing, and I have good ideas for it as well, I think. Questions both ways. Oh, Alpha Kev. Switch over to Kong. So what we really need is the Kong interview. Glad you like the laid-back interviews. I'll have to see all the metrics and everything afterwards too, see how everything did, but yeah, it was fun. I hope you guys like the format. I mean, if you have certain thoughts on that too, you know, let me know, as I am working on it. Honestly, beforehand, I didn't even know how things were going to turn out. On stuff, it was kind of just like, I think about 10 minutes beforehand, we chatted, and then I was setting things up, because I don't have it where it's like, I don't know how to describe it, like when Kevin and stuff is on the streams, or Mitchell, or Joel, or whatever, it's just like chat, right? So like they're playing with me, so usually it's just like chatter and they see things, but she's just connected, and I was able to just show the game, basically, which isn't ideal, because then she doesn't like see me and stuff, like she can hear me in that, but she doesn't like see the game in that, and I don't know how to solve that either. I have no idea how to solve that, which is another good question, but I'm glad you guys seemingly like that quite a bit. And you can follow her on those social media stuff and that. The NASCAR stuff? Oh, I bet. You and your NASCAR. It's always NASCAR stuff. But then again, it's different from, was it Doom Resort beforehand, right? But I don't know, I thought it was a nice kind of mix-up, obviously. I think we need to get back to doing... What was it? I want to finish RoboCop, so we might do that tomorrow. I don't know, something like that. Because we did COD yesterday. And that was really short. I gotta tell you, I was very disappointed with how... what was it? We need to holster the weapon. With how short COD was, because I was like, usually COD was like... I think our stream last year was like double the length of this year's COD stream, and I was just like, that is so ridiculously short. NASCAR in real life? Don't they just kind of like go in circles over? I don't know what that would be like. I guess you'd get good value, because NASCAR would be like a long kind of thing, right? You'd be doing circles and laps. And I hope everything audio balance wise was good, because I wasn't sure what was going to be loud or not loud enough. And, oh man. Oh, the behind the scenes stuff on things you've never done before is always fascinating to do, right? Like, it's legitimately a fascinating thing, informative. Well, the other thing is I didn't really come in with questions either, because I assumed the discussion was going to carry things. I basically told her, I was like, you know, you come, you can chat as long as you want, and you know, that's kind of how we do it and stuff, and it just kind of usually works. Yeah, I just sort of wing it, and things tend to work out well. Usually. The COD story. Well, apparently that Fortnite stuff is really popular right now. The revamped, like, back to basics release they did, right? Like, they kind of, I don't know if they rebooted it, but they did like a nostalgia Fortnite thing. I heard that's really popular, so maybe we'll bit of streaming for that, but I do kind of want to finish, was it RoboCop? Well, some people, you'd actually be surprised, there is a good chunk of people that still like the story content for Call of Duty. I've seen that reflected in quite a number of like polls and stuff over the years. There is still a significant chunk of people that actually care about the COD campaigns. The majority of people are sitting there playing multiplayer in that, but there's a very passionate grouping that enjoys the single-player elements of Call of Duty, and it's totally fair. And I mean, I think we should expect at least a solid version. You know, I don't think that's too much to ask. Is like, you know, a solid version of COD. But yeah, I did think it would be really cool though to do a cross-interview with Jeremy and her. You know, what we didn't get was her to do some like lines from the game. Might have been fun or something like that. But she was really interested in the streaming thing and stuff, and I think she wanted to get kind of an idea of it and how it works. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And you know, I do the streaming thing. I thought it would be fun to have her on to do one. So kind of an interesting format. Definitely different. And you know, the drop-in, drop-out stuff I think works slightly better for microphones only, but I think the video overlay worked. Like, I think she was good sized on there and everything, and yeah, I think it fit pretty well. Now, the Modern Warfare 3 campaign was a big disappointment. Now, I hope people that are joining in the stream at this point aren't going to be like, where is she? And I'll be like, she was already here, honestly. God, this is really far out of the way for these vehicles, man. Holy. Neutralize enemies? I'm in combat? Okay, I guess we'll go finish this guy off. Wow, okay, yeah, that person's dead. And we're almost here to drop this off. I'm trying to get the achievement for doing the car drop-offs, because I'm like, you know me, I gotta get something gone and done while I'm, you know, doing these streams of games and stuff like that. Leave the vehicle. Collect my reward. Which is kind of funny. Okay, where is this sort of thing? But I think I covered most of the questions, additional questions people had and whatnot, too, of things. And I'm sure tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll be like, ah, I forgot to ask about this or that, but yeah. Good enough. Okay, Okay, so how many more of these cars do I have to do? Where's the fast travel? Okay, of course it's at the end of this place. Now it's a clickbait title? Well, you know me, right? People be coming, this is ridiculous. Yeah. Phantom Pain? From, like, Metal Gear? 200 gigabytes. I mean, it's not 200 gigs. It's like you could pick and choose stuff in, you know, different sizes. Brain dance spinner. Oh, this is from that one campaign mission, isn't it? Where you, like, do an ambush or something? We really gotta do, like, a stream of all the Cyberpunk stuff. I don't know if Cyberpunk is gonna be as popular as it was during the big relaunch and stuff, but really want to do a full stream of this game someday, which would be fun. Gotta look for more cars. I'm trying to, like, there's the achievement for doing the car stealing. That's what I'm trying to do right now. It is a lot of work. But high recommend on the Phantom Liberty kind of thing, guys. If you guys have not played Phantom Liberty, it's a great, great expansion. Obviously, there's a review of it on the channel, because there's always a review of it on the channel. What the hell? Am I supposed to flip this car and take it? Is that what this is wanting? Or is this just a drivable car? I literally can't actually tell. Okay, the grenades are bouncing. Okay, that car's gone. I was just like, oh, we'll take that car. That's convenient of it being right here.
Child can escape themselves. Yes, place metal where flesh once was. Yes, feign that you are me.
Huh. The multiplayer and zombies. Do I always wake up after the next... well, the question is, do I always wake up the next morning after an interview being like, I forgot that? Not always. Like, sometimes. I don't know. Like, I think mostly my interviews are pretty well set up and scripted. Like, obviously the responses I get are always different and varying, but, like, typically I have a good enough idea of what I'm asking and what I want to ask ahead of time. If there is a moment where I'm sitting there being like, oh, I forgot this or that, it would typically be in the response to something that somebody said during the interview, and I'd be like, oh, I should have expanded upon this or created another question that went over this or that. And occasionally there's things where I'm like, oh, that would have been a good question. I think with, you know, with our Songbird interview there, for me the biggest thing was kind of like chatting with her after the interview was done and kind of being like, oh, this would have been a good thing to have in the interview, or this would have been a good thing for that. And that's the thing. It's like when you communicate with people outside of like something that's professional, you kind of like come out and brainstorm with more ideas, if that makes sense. And that in itself can be stuff I miss. But typically I think my interviews get all the stuff I want to get out of them done. But sometimes I do read other people's comments and I'll go, oh, that would have been a good interview question or something. And, you know, obviously it was part of that, which is funny. But I do have some other questions that I've saved in case we do potentially get like a crossover interview with Jeremy there, which I don't know if that's gonna be a thing. I don't like necessarily hyping up something that I don't know if it'll happen and stuff, but be cool, be neat, right? Be an interesting sort of thing. It wouldn't be like this format, I don't believe. It would be like a traditionally filmed one, which is like a lot of work too. Like the interviews I mentioned are fun because there's something different for me, but like they are like a tremendous time effort. Like I have to like, you know, come up with the questions, I have to organize them, I have to, you know, reach out, I have to record them, I have to then edit them, then transcribe them so they're written on my site, and then I have to post them, and then, you know, they're cool though because they're nice original content, something distinct that only I have. You know, they may answer other questions, but they won't to other people, but they won't be the same as what I have, and yeah, it's a fun venture to do, really, honestly. So that's kind of that stuff. Naval warfare for Battlefield 2042. You think they're? Are they really gonna go that ambitious with 2042 at this point? Like to me, what they're doing with 2042 is, yes, they are like supporting it and updating it. And I know there was that mention internally that they're gonna be like doing, you know, long-term support of it because of the uptick in players. But like, I still see 2042 as a vessel for them to update it, impress, and like keep the player base happy for them to eventually release a new, you know, Battlefield game down the road. It's kind of like a prop-up piece to kind of keep people excited about it and stuff like that. But 2042 actually got like a really big increase of players. There's more people playing it on Steam right now than people that were playing it at launch. Like it's actually, at least on that platform, had a huge resurgence. So like there's definitely a lot of people playing 2042 now. It's actually kind of kicking off and going. So it's intriguing to see how that one's going. I still, like I said though, I personally believe it is just sort of what they're doing now support-wise is just a holdover to try to keep their fans going, so that their fans will come out and support the next Battlefield, being like, even if it turns out bad, they're still going to support it. Which, I mean, you know, DICE, I think, has a little bit of a mixed history, right? You've got Battlefield 5, which got its support cut really soon. They were, like, middle of working on other stuff. So it is, you know, it is questionable to see where things are going to go and what they're going to do on things, right? So it should be interesting. Yeah. I definitely think there was more hype around Battlefield back in the day. I think they spoiled quite a bit of community excitement in that by not delivering on 2042. Because people were so, it's like, I don't know if you guys remember the hype before 2042, but people were like, they were excited. There was some funny memes though. I remember like the Anakin one where it's like pre-ordering Battlefield. He's like, I know I shouldn't. But the trailer like sold everybody, and yeah, that's the thing is, as I've said in the past, is like one good trailer, one exciting moment can get, you know, people excited about stuff like that. Now for the stream, I don't even know how the hell I'm gonna do all the, what is it, the timestamps? Yeah, I don't know how the hell I'm gonna timestamp this stream. Like there's so much chatter and stuff and everything like that. Yeah. Well, I mean, in some leaked information, they said they're doubling down. You know, whether or not that comes to fruition is another question too, right? Like, what's it gonna be like? What's it gonna turn out like? It's big questions, honestly. It is. It's an intriguing concept that I'm kind of curious about. Oh, like the PC World War III game? I've heard that one's got some moments to it. DICE. Yeah, DICE doesn't really revisit or remaster their games. They kind of make new ones. They definitely do revisit maps and content. Like, I think the closest we got to like a remake remaster from DICE was 1943, right? Which was an arcade game. It was, you know, 360 arcade game. So I don't really believe they're necessarily in the business of remaking and remastering things as much as I know people want Battlefield 4 to get touched up and stuff. I don't think that's really what they do. It would be interesting, but yeah. See, the thing is it's better for them to get you to buy their new version, because there's more money in that than selling you on nostalgia for a little bit of cash, right? So they can get a new successful game coming out. They can, you know, get better microtransactions and returns on that sort of thing. What are my skills looking like? Character skills. 2 perks, 2 relic points. How many relic points do I need? Oh, 1 each? What's this? Emergency cloaking improves optical cyberware. Will cause enemies to lose track of you. Well, that actually sounds pretty great. But I can't afford it. I guess I don't really need that. I'm already like a god tier thing. I'm not doing any more story content in this. That's the problem, is like I've done kind of like everything, if that makes sense. So it's sort of like any character upgrades I do don't really matter because there's no content left. I mean, literally the only thing left for me to do content-wise is what I'm doing, which is like these cars or doing the stupid Galamane cabs. Nobody wants to do that kind of stuff. Nobody likes the Delamine cabs. Nobody. Nobody at all. Delamine cabs are a horrible experience. Yeah, everyone was really hyped about Battlefield, really excited. And then it just didn't really turn out as expected, which often happens in life. But you know what is expected, guys? Me asking you to like the stream. Subscribing's great, donation's cool, consider becoming a channel member gifting, the Patreon option, and the Discord for stream alerts, chat at great times. Also the Amazon store affiliate link if you're into that kind of thing. Do I steal this vehicle? But one thing is kind of funny though too, is like, so the interview today was like kind of like set up, but it really wasn't. I just kind of got a message in like the afternoon today, like I think like almost like evening, and it's like, so are we doing this today? I was like, oh yeah, sure, because I would have liked to do maybe a little bit of like promoting on it, if that makes sense. Like it would have been cool to build it up a bit too for people. Like it would have been nice to have some like Cyberpunk community people come in and like take a look at it, but I didn't get the time to do that. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, well we could do this. And I was sitting there being like, yeah, I guess this is what I'm doing tonight. I'm like, okay. I was like, I think I figured it out well. I think I got it all done. Yeah. Oh, Battlefront 2. Yeah, Battlefront 2 I think had a lot more potential. But even as they said, people weren't, you know, they just weren't playing it as much, and there's a certain point where they're like, they gotta work on new stuff, right? Like they gotta work on new experiences and whatnot. They can't just keep working on old stuff because they need to be able to is this my car? Yeah, they can't just work on Battlefront 2 forever, especially if it's not where the players are not making the money. They gotta work on new experiences and stuff. It's all about profit, right? As much as we love gaming and it as an art, it is about, you know, you gotta make money and things doing stuff. So that's life for you. That's definitely what life is. Any more of these cars? How close am I to this? So you either do 10 of these or you do a medical vehicle. There's so many achievements. Defeat the Chimera. Yeah, that achievement was glitched for me. I never got that one. Because hilariously, I even had video at the beginning of the stream where I was destroying the Chimera, which is funny. The other funny thing is talking to her and being like, oh, remember this moment or that moment, and being like, oh, yeah, and stuff like that. Because, like, she's done the voiceover work, but she doesn't have the connection to the game, whereas I've done the game and I don't have connection to the voice work, you know, behind that and stuff. It's really quite fascinating. I love doing these chats and these interviews because you get to learn little, you know, things behind the scenes, you get to talk about stuff, you get to do things. They're kind of fun, right? They're different. For me, is the biggest thing. It's a little bit of a different challenge in the work I do. Otherwise, I'm always doing like the same stuff. That's really what I'm looking for too. Is a bit more of a challenge on things, right? To have something unique to go over, talk about, and present, and do something a little different. Especially for you guys too. I'm trying to find stuff like our interview did really good the first time through, and then Jeremy's interview did really good. So I've been hopefully leveraging those to try to do more interviews. Reached out about some COD stuff and see if any of that happens. I don't know. The other thing is it's like really hard to find contact information for a lot of these interviews, which is kind of funny. Is like figuring out who to talk to get like access for information. It's hard. The finals is like a game of the year though. I really don't think so. I mean, it's like it's an okay shooter, but I don't think it's that kind of quality. Apparently we're getting Baldur's Gate 3 on Xbox on December 6th, I believe. Why she hasn't gotten. Gaming is a really busy, like it takes a lot of work to play games. Like especially because she mentioned playing the Super Mario games, which are like just 2D platformers. There's lots of platformers out there. But like I feel for somebody that doesn't play games, it feels really crazy to try to get into games. Like there was one gal I was seeing that was like not like I was trying to like get her through the idea to get like a feel for like if she would actually do any sort of gaming type stuff, and she's like, I did she really liked Flappy Bird. You know, and that's like fine. But like anything else was, I think, terrifying or just maybe not of interest because it seems like I think to some people a daunting thing, or maybe they don't want to be seen as somebody that plays games. Not saying she doesn't want to be seen as someone that plays games, but you get what I mean from a perspective of someone that's like working and doing stuff. Gaming is like a whole different kind of world. And if you play games regularly, it's like, oh, what a big deal. I throw in the thing, I play games. But to some people, for playing them, they're like, oh, what about the time commitment, or I gotta get into this, or can I do this, or is there the interest there too is another question, right? Not everybody loves necessarily watching movies. Some people don't do it at all. Some people love working on cars. Some people don't love working or doing that at all. It really depends on your personality, your intrigues, or what intrigues you and what interests you and stuff like that. So, very likely. Also, she did mention that whole kind of a bad experience, kind of thoughts on games and the culture of it, which hopefully has improved a bit for her. But as she's saying that, and I'm like chopping limbs and stuff, which is kind of funny, being a violent game. But yeah, it's really interesting. Because I'm like, obviously, the more people that play games, the better and stuff. It's good for my business too, right? The more people playing games. I think it's growing and maturing video games, and it's getting a lot better of a vibe to it and stuff too. At least I feel like people are more responsive to gaming nowadays. Hopefully what I do isn't considered as weird to people. Because that's always a big thing too, is like... 7 consecutive time. Yeah, when I'm doing all the dating stuff, I try to slightly lean away from what I do specifically, because people don't really get it still, which is kind of funny. Okay. Alright, so that's done. I need to find a map back to where we are going. Oh, of course there's no stations. Very close. Great. I gotta turn that off. I'm trying to get this car achievement. Grand Theft Auto 6. If Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out next year, I don't know. There's a lot of conflicting things, because there's a lot of people just being like, oh, this or that about GTA. Rockstar will show it when they're ready to show it, and it'll be a big deal whenever they're ready to present it, and it'll be a big deal whenever people are excited to embrace it. Like, I'm sure someday, like, it probably won't even be a showcase, you'll just see a GTA thing go on. You'll wake up one morning to, like, text or something, and everybody will be like, GTA trailer dropped. Or maybe someone like, Xbox or PlayStation will bring out the big bucks to have, GTA as part of their showcase conference at some point. I bet you Sony will. Well, actually, Xbox, they're throwing out the big dollars. Maybe they'll go for the marketing rights. But typically, GTA, PlayStation usually has the marketing rights to it. Like the GTA remaster and stuff. But it would be very interesting to see if Xbox actually made a move on the GTA rights. Because that was a big thing. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was a huge thing for the 360. Was Xbox having like the marketing rights to GTA 4. That was a very, very big thing for the platform. Yeah, you gotta have those big moments where you shock people with big marketing deals and stuff like that. The Kraken Gold Spice Rum. Kraken Gold Spice Rum, the gold standard. It's really good. That's what I've been drinking the last few nights, because I bought it to try it. It's so smooth. I feel like it doesn't have as strong of a taste as regular Kraken does. Like, I still think I prefer regular Kraken, but man, that Kraken Gold is just so ridiculously smooth to drink. Honestly, it's like almost a bit of a problem because you wouldn't even notice it. A stigma. There is definitely still a bit of a stigma with gaming. It's getting a lot better. Like, the thing I noticed for me personally, like growing up in that, was the last, I think, like 3 to 5 years, my grandparents actually kind of understood what I did and were like really curious about it, if that made sense. Like, obviously, my grandmother's passed recently, but grandfather also is a little not fully there anymore. But like, you know, it was fascinating seeing them kind of be like, yeah, whatever, don't understand it, to like kind of seeing on their old people news and kind of being like, oh, that's what you do, and learning about it and being like, that's a cool thing, you need to keep doing that. I'm like, oh, sweet. So that was really fascinating to see. I think that's what made it more, I guess you would say, general, and or that stigma disappearing is that being a thing. It's just regular, when regular people that don't typically like know and or care about games kind of being intrigued by it, that's when you know things are getting a little more well known, if that makes sense. I'm taking this car. Yeah. It's a nice car, this one, actually. 24-hour streams that are separate? What? Oh, we've joked about doing that. Where we have like a stream just running all the time. I thought that'd be too weird though. Because we joked about me getting a vacation finally, and just having it do like COD streams while I'm gone. And then like adding in the occasional loop where it'd be like, what do you mean this isn't live? I thought that would be funny. But you don't want to get in trouble with YouTube too for like reused content. I heard they get really pissy like that. I don't know. YouTube rules are so... Like, unless you're doing something blatant, it's like when a YouTube rule hits you, it's like kind of unexpected almost, if that makes sense. 2.3 kilometers? Oh my god.
One more thing. Hear that? Clocks are ticking. Time waits for no chew.
Time waits for no choom? Oh god. That's what I should have had her do, was say choom. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I'm actually surprised none of you guys brought up Master Chief's rear end. Missed opportunity, I say. Ooh, my bad, I actually smoked that person. That's an interview I need to try to set up, is the Halo Master Chief interview with the Halo TV series. But not until that show starts like streaming and stuff. I don't even know if I'm gonna get to cover that or not. Honestly, like, I have no idea. Oh, they totally wrecked this car. Yeah, I have no idea how that's going to turn out. Or if I'm going to cover the show. I think I'm going to cover the show. The Halo TV series, but I have no idea what that'll be like. Yeah. This car doesn't move like it's supposed to. I'm just trying to deliver these vehicles, and there's always somebody on my ass. I hope it was kind of interesting for her too, because she's just kind of sitting there chatting with me for a bit, and it's like, it's a long time chat. It's nice that she chatted for so long, but like, I don't know if I made it interesting enough too, which is a bit of an issue. Oh crap. Could you cops kind of like just vanish? Like, where did they even come from? And you know what? They were after me because I shot that person. That's what it was. Honestly, like, I know some people like the cop system, but I find it so obnoxious in this game. I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's just like, I'll be off doing something important, and it's just like, you know, it's just like constantly the cops are just on you in this. And it's like impossible to evade them. Or at least it feels like it. Oh, now they stopped leaving because I got to where the objective marker is? Unbelievable. Really? They do that and they just vanish. It's just like, ugh. Unbelievable. Progression shard. Good, good, good. I wish we would stop turning on like miscellaneous quests. Is there like a fast travel point around here? So they leave you with no car in the middle of the desert. Unbelievable. She was having fun. Well, I hope she was. 24-hour COD Warzone. I mean, you can go and watch the old streams if you want to. Like, there's literally, like, all my streams that are, like, backed up if you want to go watch them. There's, like, 3 years of basically, like, daily streams. If you're ever wanting more of my content, there's plenty of it out there. Let's put it that way. We're definitely not missing out on Sky content. I'll put it that way. There's the plethora of Sky streams for all kinds of old COD stuff. Tons of it. That's inappropriate. Let's see. So where would a car be? Just trying to find out where the cars are. His ass on stream? Yeah, that would go real well for YouTube. I just love the idea of, like, trying to, like, ask that guy that question, being like, so, we've kind of made it a thing around here where we talk about your rear end, like, every day. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? Master Chief. Is it strange we talk about you every day on stream, but it's not for what you think it is? God. Gaming, am I right? Video games. Such a... Life in general is just kind of funny. You have to go with stuff. But you never know what kind of person you're gonna get to, where it's like, can you be, like, more funny and, like, released on stuff and all that. Baldur's Gate 3. Oh, the Porsche. Oh, the Porsche is beautiful in this game. It really is. I feel like I've missed the boat on, like, Baldur's Gate 3 interviews. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens when it comes to Xbox, and we'll see how busy I am when it comes to Xbox, and we'll see what I can set up. Because I am more ambitious about these interview type things, like some of them have the potential to do really, really well, which is great. And it's just like, it's nice to have unique content and stuff, and yeah. I actually have an issue right now where I've got too many videos to release and not enough time slots to release them. Because ideally you want to do, like, a lot of things is timing. People become less and less interested in things as time goes on. So you got to do certain things timely. You really do. You gotta time stuff so that it does its best. So we're at 8 out of 10. So apparently I'm supposed to get a call from Captain. Kidnap kids. Okay, so anyways. What's Pan Am keeps texting me? Oh. We're talking guys, Pan Am and I. That's funny. Yeah. Anyways, I'm supposed to get, like, a quest from this guy to get this, like, car to get this achievement, and he hasn't. Maybe if I skip a day, let's see if we could, like. First let's go to, like, 9 o'clock or 9 a.m. and see if there's a chat there. Compliment. You've got a great rear end there, Master Chief. Well, the thing is, he is, like, actually well versed on Halo. I can't think of what his name is, but the guy is it Schreiber's last name? The guy that voices Master Chief in the Halo TV series. I sat in on one of Paramount's early pre-chats about, like, an investor meeting chat. I for whatever reason, I found... You're wondering how I got here. But yeah, I was in one of their investor chat things about the Halo show, because I guess that was, like, relevant to me, they thought. Which it was, and I got to, like, take notes about the behind the scenes, because it's for... They do that stuff for investors, so they know about how things are shaping up. But they were, like, talking about the characters, and the guy was, like... He was really mentioning that he was super into, like... I think he read the books and was trying to, like, find out about the games and stuff. for the Master Chief character. So he was actually really intrigued about Master Chief there, which is interesting. God damn it, you're supposed to call me with this quest. What is his name? Oh my god, I got so many friends here.
Talk later.
Yeah, I feel like that too if I randomly got called and then they're just like, we'll talk later.
Took it apart.
Where are these cars at? Yeah, I was supposed to get like a call from him for a gig to do a quest where I go and I take this final car. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, I don't have it. Well, I don't have any idea about the characters in Baldur's Gate, so I don't really have context in regards to who I should interview and stuff like that. I feel like I missed this whole subculture thing of gaming this year by not having Baldur's Gate to cover earlier. It's like I feel like I've missed this whole huge thing that's happening. Like I'm almost hesitant to do my top 10 games of the year's list because I haven't like played Baldur's Gate yet. I'm waiting for the Xbox release, so hopefully that doesn't impact things too much. But you know what does impact things, guys? Getting people to like the stream. That's right, subscribing's great, donations cool, consider becoming channel member gifting, the Patreon option, the Discord for stream alerts, chat at great times, and the Amazon store affiliate link should you be grabbing anything on there. God damn it, where are these cars? Are they like not on my map? Vehicle contract. Which I guess is not what I'm looking for. Apartment. Yeah, no, they're literally, they are not on my map. Strange. Strange. Oh, did you guys like the format where it's like the top corner and stuff? Or do you need like see more or less? I think it was well set up. Halo fans to make the show. Well, they need like, yeah, I don't know, somebody that actually cares about the Halo lore to like, I think, manage the show, if that makes sense. Because, you know, creatives in gaming and creatives in movies and stuff, completely different mediums. But I think you need to have someone like for The Last of Us. You know, they had the guy there to actually make sure, like Druckmann or whatever, they had the guy there to make sure that like it was oversaw and properly handled, right? Like that it was done properly. Whereas like for the Halo show, I don't know what her name was. Was it Kiki Wolf was managing it or something? I don't know. Whoever was managing it obviously didn't really quite get it, if that made sense. At least I feel like they didn't quite get Halo, or the direction they were going for it was weird. Because it just, yeah, it didn't... It was intriguing, I'll give you that much. The Halo TV show was one of the most intriguing things I've ever watched. I'm looking forward to reviewing the second season of it, because I can't wait to see where things go from here, but... Yeah. You missed it, Filet. The short Halo thing. Yeah, you totally missed it, Filet. Where were you, man? Well, like, again, like, as I said, like, I didn't get any sort of, like, pre-knowledge that we were doing it, so I didn't get to, like, you know, I didn't get to promote it. Like, it would have been cool maybe to do something, like, with Reddit or something, and been like, hey, guys, I'm gonna do, like, this AMA kind of thing, and, you know, self-promotion, all that, but it would have been good to kind of, like, get the word out a bit beforehand. I don't know, this is a good testing one. It was a good kind of, I think it ran smoothly, and I can put it in, like, a portfolio thing and be like, hey, I offer, you know, we can do this too if you'd like, and... You know, she did stay a long time. She did answer, I think, all the questions that people had. I think we went over it. Yeah, Halo Landfall, I've seen that one. It looks great, it looks gritty, it's interesting. Yeah. So hurry on all of these. I've only got one of them left after this. silly achievement out of the way. I can leave Cyberpunk satisfied for now. I did also play this earlier today on the Xbox One. I'm doing a final Cyberpunk Xbox One review. I thought it would be fun to like take a look at it in all its terrible glory. Yeah. No, I've seen Halo Landfall. I don't know who would do a good Halo. Like, for me, Halo needs to be a movie. And they just need to redo the games as movies. That's the one thing that always bothers me with the creatives, is like, you know, the Hollywood creatives and stuff, is they absolutely refuse to just adapt the gaming stories. Like, for Tomb Raider, like, you know, for the most part it was an adaptation, but they changed the worst, like, they made, like, the worst changes to that Tomb Raider, the one with, was it Vikander or whatever. Like, they got a good, you know, she looks like Lara Croft, she's got a good performer, like a great actress and whatnot. And it's just like, you know, they were adapting the Survivor story, but they, like, changed it in the worst and the dumbest ways, and they just ruined it. Because I'm like, it's the easiest story to adapt. See, The Last of Us, they adapted basically the game almost perfectly. And you know what? You might not like every part of it, but high critical acclaim, very well done. For the most part, that show's really, really great, and it like sticks to the games very, very well. At least the story of the games, the story beats, and it's just like, I don't know why so many movies and shows are just like, screw the games, screw the source material, and that's where the problems come in, I always feel. Just another story. Okay, I got one more card to bring back. And there's no fast travel points nearby. Is that faster than that? Ugh. You gotta be kidding me. Slaughter's here too now. You guys all missed it. We had her in here for like 2 hours. I worked hard to set up this this interview chat thing. I'm just surprised he was actually wanting to do this kind of stuff or interested about it. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I was like, oh, that's cool. Okay, now I've put myself in this weird locker place. I'm just trying to go and steal this last card to get my damn achievement. I'm like in a conflict area. Man, this game is like full of crap to do. I wish there was more meaty stuff for me to do because I've done everything, but definitely got my value out of it. Oh, this is the station? Oh my god. Night City Rapid Arena? This is an arena? Hello there.
Oh god. Nothing makes
Do 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 do. Maybe this is where the last car is. Respect the source material. I don't think we'll ever get a proper Halo game, or Halo show, honestly, or, well, Halo movie. I don't think that'll ever happen. I'd love it, but yeah. Conan Exiles? If you like Ark, Conan Exiles is literally just Ark, but like in Conan. That's what that game is. Like, if you're expecting like a story thing that's like Conan, that's not what that game is. But like, if you want a survival game, it's pretty gory and vicious and intense. It's gotten really good long-term support. They keep updating it. I mean, it's not a bad time, but like, yeah, just make sure you have the right expectations going in for that one. Okay, so we need one more car. Yeah, one more car to do. You never even called me about the medical van. Never even happened. Nice interview. Thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was, I don't know, it was kind of cool. Like, I think if I went at it next time, I would probably really work towards trying to, like, promote it and try to get it set up ahead so that we could schedule it and get, you know, people into it and stuff. Like, it helps that I think she's in the Pacific time, so it does help that there is that difference in time, too. Because I stream at, like, a late hour, right? So that is a big thing too. So it is good that we are able to coordinate things like this. And I hope to bring more like neat opportunities and, you know, things like that to the channel, obviously. Like I said, the more followers you have, like subscribers, the more people that do your stuff and check out your stuff, the more views you have, the more like opportunities you have to get cooler things. That's what a lot of it comes down to, is just like your weight, your influence, and yeah, that largely dictates what opportunities you can have.
How much you grow protein? Good stuff or shit like last
There we go. I guess I gotta follow her on Instagram now that I'm allowed to. I always get a good chuckle out of that. Yeah. You never know on this kind of stuff. There's a few games that have been launched with the new Game Plus, I think. What was it? Alan Wake 2, I was kind of surprised that one didn't. It doesn't even have like a chapter select Alan Wake 2, which I thought was weird. Because I think the first one did. Okay, so there's one... Ow. That's not the car I'm looking for. There's one car that I am missing for this achievement. And I do not know where it is. I assume I'm just gonna like run into it if I keep looking around.
We had everything, Jude. Eddies, degrees, connections.
Like it's gotta be somewhere, right? Like there's one car left. I love how you guys are all jumping in now. You guys totally missed all the interview stuff. It's really well done. It's fun. We all had a great time. Ow, my knees. Is that the car I'm looking for? I think that's the car I'm looking for. It's like a moving car? Or is that just like a blue dot thing? Let me guess, he's got the quest for me now to go steal the van thing? I'd rather just steal the one car instead of doing the side mission for this guy. Yeah, that's the quest I've been waiting for. God damn it. I think it's easier for me just to steal the car and deliver it at this point, though. I think this is the car I'm supposed to steal. No? This is not the car I'm supposed to steal? Alright, I'm supposed to meet this guy at the dam for this stupid achievement. Where is this? Okay, well, we'll go do this. Where? The dam all the way out there? Dude, that's so far. Why? That's nowhere near where I am, man. Oh my god. Can't he just give me the mission without me having to go on like some kind of convoluted adventure chat thing? Isn't there a fast travel point here? Or is it down below? And let me guess, I cannot fast travel while I'm being attacked. Oh, God. Really? Okay, maybe if I can escape them by going down here. If they won't notice I'm down here. New Game Plus? Well, I mean, like, when you do... Frankly, I did not interview anyone from GTA. Yeah. Because then, like, for New Game Plus, like, it is actually a lot of work, because it's essentially like a second run of your game. It's easier to do than, like, making the game the first time around, but it is still a lot of effort, because you have to, like, change how the enemies respond, change the difficulty, you have to tune things, you have to, like... There's actually a lot going on in a New Game Plus. And I honestly think a lot of developers just don't think that people actually even care about a New Game Plus, and it's only when they're like, oh damn, people actually want a New Game Plus for our game, that they actually sit there and they go, okay, let's make it. Because that was probably Remedy. Like, Remedy wasn't even planning, from what I had read, to do a 60 FPS mode, like a performance mode, until people were like, you know, asking for it, so they did it before, just ahead of launch. But like, yeah, if you don't know that people want that kind of thing, because some people just assume, like for me, when you finish a game, it's done. But I think it is becoming more and more common that people are almost expecting that as a feature in your game, to be able to play it a second time in a New Game Plus. Because traditionally, if you wanted to replay a game, you would just replay the game, right? But it's now you're like expecting a new, because it's like an extra mode basically. It takes a lot more effort. Oh, so that symbol's the police. Okay, El Captain, give me the goddamn challenge to get this achievement. Should have drove to him. I didn't realize he was so far away. Did you guys know he was this far away? It was ridiculous. We're gonna trek across the world.
Quit being a chicken shit cunt, Mama. We got this. You, V? Don't you fuck up down at the docks.
The what? What's going on here, man?
Stubborn ass. Remember, Daniels? Supposed to help you with this gig.
Honestly, all badges look the same to me.
Daniels, the team who drove up when we was chatting by my garage. He took one of the cars? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, listen up. You're going to Corpo Plaza, Arasaka Docks. Gonna swipe us a truck hauling med equipment.
That's pretty hardcore, dude.
Daniels and his buddies from the NCPD.
It's pretty hardcore.
They'll be incognito, dressed as workers. You head on over. Daniels will be in touch.
Huh. Shit, not a single, Your Majesty. Keeps going like this, El Clowno might even get a haircut.
Great. That all?
If we pull it off, the kids in San Domo won't have to go through what I did. Anyway, need a smoke. Go on, give a chum some space.
Right. Where have I heard that one before?
Oh, Keanu.
They all say they want space, but what they really want...
Be cool to be a large enough channel to get interviews with like Keanu and stuff.
Everything okay? I gotta be your fucking empathy coach now too?
Level cap, yeah. That's again, people don't think of that though. If you're making like a New Game Plus, you gotta balance all that stuff out, right?
Mar, something wrong? Acting weirdly, composed.
El Capitan, the Joker needs a fucking break. He'll be back. You know I grew up here. Me and Daniels.
Doesn't that just look amazing?
Fucking Domingo. You know what we were most scared of as kids?
Guessing it wasn't monsters under the bed.
Oh.
Unfortunately, no. Biggest fear was a glass of water. You see, the filter's sometimes gonked out. Any sip could be your last. Talking cancer, arthritis, kids with the joints of 70-year-olds. All in a fucking glass of water. In these homes, every damn day, years on end.
Shit. This is Sokka's doing. Gotta be.
Arasaka Factory's been pumping poison into the groundwater here since 2061.
Oh.
Of course, we didn't know how bad it was for a good long while.
As I fucking thought.
So this med equipment, it's gonna help the sick, right?
Should ease some of their suffering, yeah. But the most important thing is peeps will see someone still gives half a shit. Maybe they'll feel something besides fear for a change. Stealing for the greater good. The system, man, it's all kinds of fucked up, V. Anyway, get going. And don't let us down.
I won't.
Alright, let's get to it. The Arasaka docks. Ah, Christ, everything is like 9 miles away. Is there like a fast travel point around here? There's one down there. I don't know if I would survive the jump down. Okay, so I gotta run all the way back here to get a fast travel point. Alright, we'll get there. The Modern Warfare, that Modern Warfare 3 campaign was so bad. But yeah, the games with gold have been stopped for like months, hasn't it? But you know what didn't stop, guys? Getting you guys to like the stream. Arkham Knight. Yeah, so they added the DLC, what's his name? The Pattinson Batman skin to Arkham Knight and then removed it. It was an accidental update. See, Arkham Knight, they're doing a Switch release, I think in December, early December. So, from what I understand, that's going to be part of it, is they might be doing some surprise updates to Arkham Knight across the board to coexist with that big update. So that essentially is what it is. So basically, I think on December 6th, I believe is the date, will be that Arkham Knight update. We may even get a current gen upgrade for the game. We don't know for sure, but yeah. Oh, slaughter. Yeah. Alright, so let's get this heist done. Yeah, I have no idea how I'm gonna do, like, timestamps for the stream. Not a clue. I've never timestamped something so intricately detailed like that.
So you can find the port. Great. Way to go, Merc. You remember what's next?
Skip it, Daniels. Get to the point.
Watch for security. Find the big...
Get onto the ship, okay. I am a pro at kicking ass. This pistol is ridiculous. Like, it's literally like insta-kills for almost everything. I used to do like my samurai katana sword, but this thing just like absolutely just ends lives. Find the truck. Okay. Is this the truck? That's not the truck. Oh, this damn achievement.
Medic, I'm hit.
There's no medics left. Okay, so where's this stupid shit? Is this... This is it, okay. Yeah.
Got the truck.
I'm hoping it's an update for Arkham. That would be great. Think of all the views I could get. It'd be perfect. Whether or not that'll happen is another question, but yeah, it'd be really great if that was the case, so we'll have to wait and see. But I'm assuming they've got something planned. There's at least that skin coming out, because we saw it, obviously. before they pulled it. And then the most logical thing is there's the Switch up, like the Switch release of the trilogy. So yeah, it'd be really nice if they did the whole thing. That would be perfect. If all three of the things were like upgraded, that would be tops, right? Yeah, they could all redo all three of them, or well, not redo them, but like just remaster them or something like that. Yeah, your Wreckfest stuff. Okay, everything you have carries over from Xbox One to Series X, man. All your saves and stuff, unless they did like there's very, very few circumstances where like developers force you to get a new version of a game, but like almost literally everything carries over from your Xbox One to your Series X or S. But yeah, there you go. I think all the Wreckfest stuff does carry over. Pretty sure about that. Let's deliver this vehicle. Bum, 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 bum.
Make it quick! No mercy!
Yeah, you think Arasaka would be like more aggressive about protecting this vehicle? Like, it doesn't feel like they're tailing me, you know what I mean? Considering there's no one, like, actually chasing me. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm in combat. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel that anyone's attacking me. Oh, now I gotta do a ridiculous loop around. We got this, guys. Arkham Origins? That one? I don't know what the issue is with that one. There's something, I think, music or licensing that's wrong with that game because it's not for sale anymore. It's only available physically, so I don't think they'll fix that unless they want to do a remastering of it. Which Batman? Arkham Knight is the one that has the new skin, but I mean, if they're doing a collection package for the Switch, it includes Arkham Knight and the other two Arkham games, City and Asylum, so theoretically they might be remastering those two. Or doing a new definitive upgrade or something. Potentially. Oh, what the hell? B's no longer like the crouch? Really?
Good, I guess.
Oh,
There
was it
we
always
are.
B?
Mickey, check the gear, dump the truck. Yeah.
What about Daniels? He contact you?
Daniels is dead.
Look, I'm sorry. Whole gig was to protect the gear.
And you did good. Daniels would have said the same. Thanks to you, we help a shit ton of chooms. Think you deserve a little something. Whip there's all yours. Bubbly next to it, too. Sort of planned on a happier ending, you know? Anyway, thanks, V.
No problem.
Thanks, El Capitan. Take care.
Easy come, easy go. Oh, look at this bad boy that I'm wrecking. So yeah, another achievement done. You know what the crazy thing is I've got like over 70 hours of this game, and I still don't have all the freaking achievements. I guess I gotta pick different, like, quest points or something. I don't even think I have saves for any of that stuff anymore. Anyways, that's about a good enough run for tonight, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream, the interview stuff, and everything like that. And hopefully we'll get the opportunity to do more things like this in the future.